down. If I fuck things up, just tell me now. I'm living in a blinded town, am I running out of time? Feel like control when I'm talking to you. Slow trip, trying to play it cool. Nothing to do, let's drive to the ocean. Get high, lay on the beach. White water running down my feet. Make love and repeat, I don't ever want to stay all night to see the sunrise. It's way too soon to be calling, baby. But it feels so right against the moonlight. Deep sea diving at first, don't save me. Is there something I can say to make you wanna stay with me? Is there something I can say to make you wanna stay with me? Oh, make you wanna stay with me. Is there something I can do to show my love for you?
What's going on, YouTube? I'll be right back. Give me just 1 second. Listen, fellas, you want to get your face wash, your skincare routine intact? I use Tiege Henley. It's a daily face wash with an AM, PM moisturizers with instructions in the box that's very clear on how to get it together. I know this is not something common that us men do, but it's very important that we take care of our skin. On top of that, the ladies love it. Get yourself a box of Tiege Henley. It comes in the mail, ships within a week. If you click the link in my description, you would get 40% off your first order and 20% off a lifetime. On top of that, sign up to the app and you'll get even more deals. Me, I got a special. I got the grooming kit. I was able to get my nail clippers and everything that I needed to get myself together to go outside. Tiege Henley is the way when I tell you the perfect men's skincare routine. Get yourself a box of Tiege Henley. What is going on? What is going on? You. So, we got the ladies in the building tonight. What is good? Let me get, Kitty Kid in the building. What is good? Everyone, do me a favor, please. Unmute your mics. Unmute your mics.
Kiki, why
What
you look like
is
you want
good?
to in the closet?
Nah,
You hiding in the closet, friend? What's
I
going
know
on?
now, babe. Nah, she look like she outside.
You on the
She
porch?
look like she.
I'm normally at my station, but I'm not home, so
Okay.
I had to do a little dip out. I'm gonna wind up changing locations in a second. No, don't come.
Okay. No, because
She
it was
coming for
real
you
cool. I
early.
just see
All
the light of the
all
moon on your
right, let's
forehead.
get
I
the
don't know.
show started. Let's get the show started. What is
They're not
good,
coming
ladies?
up
What
my
is good?
Wi-Fi today.
Nah, not today. A little bit though. So ladies, how are y'all doing? So we got some new ladies on the panel tonight. I would love for them to introduce themselves. Miss Adams, we're gonna start with you since you up top.
Hi, everybody. My name is Keisha Adams. I am from New York. I just recently relocated to South Carolina. I'm honored to be on this show tonight. Thanks to Dion. I'm grateful to be here. A little bit about myself. I'm a mom of two daughters. I work for the medical system. Also, in addition to that, I also own a small business called Women's on a Mission, where I inspire and empower women to walk in their purpose. My last recent event was a vision board for the youth. And this season, I'm just more catered to the youth in this go round. So I had a vision board event that was an absolute success. Just hearing the kids hear what their dreams and aspirations wanted to be, and just being that vessel to encourage them. There's no dream too small. You can be that you want, and I'm just in a season of just being obedient. So I'm 32 years old, and yeah, I'm excited to be here.
That's what's up. It's exciting to have you here. And we also have Boston. She's in the building. What is good? You are. There we go.
Hi everyone. So I'm 34 years old. I'm from Fort Lawn, South Carolina. I live in Rock Hill. I just met Dion over the weekend over an event that we do. It's called Boston Sip Tea. We're in a girls group. It's more like a sisterhood, where I met Dion and we clicked right away. I have my own drink business. It's called Exotic Spydria. I am mobile, so I do travel. I'm located in Rock Hill, South Carolina. At first I thought it was just gonna be something small, but it has grew to be so big to where I am I fly out everywhere. Everything is paid for, and I normally work mainly with Lisa, the owner of the Boston Sip Tea Foundation. But I'm in a little bit of everything. I'm in financing. I'm in school for real estate. I just passed my insurance test today to sell insurance. So I'm
Oh,
pretty
hold
much
on, hold on. I gotta give you something special. Right. Amazing.
Thank you.
That's a good look right there. So continue. I'm sorry about that.
So I am a mother of two as well. I have a 16-year-old, about to be 17-year-old daughter, and my son will be 15 in October. So I have teenagers, so I am about that life as well. Overall, I just love to have fun, stay active, and get some money.
Get that bread. Get that bread. That's what's up. Dream Grant.
Right.
Welcome. I know my boy, Professor Rasheen, told you about the show, and he said, yo, you got to have her on. So welcome. So this is Grown Woman Talking on the channel we call Grown Men Talking. But can you please give us an introduction of yourself? Any businesses, anything you got going on? Let us know.
So my name is Dream. I'm 21 years old. I do have a custom shoe business. So I customize shoes. I went to art school. I do want to currently get into a radiology program and study that. And other than that, I work. That's about it. Nothing special. I'm still young, figuring life out a little bit. So
Well, everything you just said is special. So,
thank you.
as long as you move and you keep it positive and keep it pushing, that's special. And you might hear some storms going on. It's storming outside, so if you hear something, I ain't breaking nothing in the house. So I would also like for Sydney, I know you got some stuff going on. Please let us know what's up.
What's up, y'all? It's Sydney. I am the real estate aristocrat on TikTok, real estate aristocrat without the V on Instagram. Right now, I am still investing in real estate. I am a real estate broker. So I'm heavily in that. I also have my content creation studio that I'm still working on. I'm praying to God I have it done by the end of this month. Cross your fingers. You will get an invite for the opening. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have going on right now. And I'm working on tiny homes, still working on that as well. So we got a lot going on.
Good deal, good deal. Good deal. So we got Just Justified, Kit, Dion MUA, and you got old ass Mingo in the building. We are here to make it happen tonight on Grown Women Talking. So, in case anyone is new that found the channel and is watching today and wondering what is this Negro doing on the panel, I'm up here to offer the male perspective to the woman's point of view. So that's why I'm up here. In case y'all wanted to know. Boombox is in the building. What is good? Thank
Wow.
That storm is bad. Right?
Just like that. The
We
lights
still
went out. See, this how you know it's really live, y'all. It's really live. Really live.
That storm is crazy.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, it's a real bad storm going on, y'all. So bear with us. Pray we don't get swept away.
Right.
It's not really going on here in the Triad though, like in the Greensboro area. So it must be mainly in Charlotte, Rocky.
Yeah, right now it's in the Charlotte, Maine area. I know it's in some of the surroundings, but not quite that far out.
Mhm.
But ladies, well, for one, you know what? I will step up and help moderate a little bit while we're waiting for them to come in. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm not exactly sure of what the topics
Can
are.
y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Are you back, Tiff?
Can I be heard and seen?
We can hear you.
We can hear you. We can't see you.
It's spinning now. I come back on.
Okay.
There it is. Boom.
Okay. Here we go.
It's freezing again.
Oh my.
Again, audience, please forgive while we're working out some kinks due to some very hectic weather. If you're in the Charlotte area and you have the storm going on, make sure that you are being safe and that you have everything that you need. Make sure that you have your phones charged in case you do lose power and you need to be able to communicate. All the important things, please. I'm not exactly sure of what the topics are, and that's the beautiful thing about our show. It's very candid, it's very on spot. So nothing is practiced at all. No, when we don't come in knowing what we're going to be talking about, sometimes right before we come in, we'll talk amongst one another, whoever's already logged in, and we'll be able to just kind of have some camaraderie. But for the most part, we really don't know what Mingo's got going on in that treasure of communicative conversation. So yeah.
I believe it was feminism versus feminine.
Feminist versus feminine, right? But I don't know. I know that that's the topic. I don't know what it's centered around as far as he always has a video and he has something going on. So I know we were talking about a couple of topics that have been
coming down now.
Well, I'm like, you see, I'm over here like, okay, like I'm protected where I'm at, but I'm like, oh,
what's crazy? What's crazy, you guys, is I'm in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We don't got no rain today. None.
That's crazy.
It has been raining in Charlotte. I feel like 40 days and 40 nights. Like, I'm not upset though, because it has absolutely helped to cool it off. It has been hot as sin and Satan. So Like, absolutely understandable. Just
Yeah.
too hot.
Real.
But okay, I was looking at the comments to make sure. And everybody with the wrench, you guys know that you all hold us down in the comments. We appreciate you all. So if you see anything etch a sketch over there, please make sure that you know, keep them in check. So I'm not logged in as an admin, and normally if Mingo isn't on, I would help. So Queen Lala asks, is everybody from NC?
No,
I am. I'm in the Greensboro area, Brown Summit to be specific, but I'm in North Carolina.
I'm in Spartanburg.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm originally a New Yorker. Welcome to the Bronx, but I'm in North Carolina now.
I'm, but just moved, so I'm in Spartanburg.
So, since I already know that the topic is feminist versus feminine, I know he's probably going to censor this around an interview that he had earlier. So, if you all have been paying attention, someone, you know, people love clickbait, and they added, like, you know, a message to black women on top of this woman's commentary about how Western ideas and ideals are killing relationships, as far as how Western women are, not black women, but Western women in general. She went on to say a couple of things. Jess, you were actually in the audience as well. Her name is Soraya, I want to say. Did I say it right? Jess? Okay, she may not be able to hear me. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all still hear me?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Oh, sorry.
um,
I was muted on one
Yeah.
thing and not the other. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah.
I said she beautiful, but I said, is she
Sorry.
hearing me? Like, I'm like, she over here just.
I'm there talking. I know you saw my lips moving.
That's why I was like, can she
I
hear
was
me? Like,
talking.
but is her name not Soraya? I think that's what her name
I believe it's
is.
Soraya, if I'm not mistaken.
And so, if I'm not mistaken, she's from Turkey, but she was living in Germany. She's been married since 2001, and she actually was having something to say as far as the treatment of men from Western civilization, like how Western women treat their men, and how basically, oh, okay.
It's got some kickback.
Look, every time I turn around, Mother Nature's telling me something else. She's like, I said what I said. So basically, she was saying that the way we treat women as Western women, not as black women, but as Western women, the way that we treat them happens to be, you know, harsh, and we need to do better as far as how we speak to them, how we treat them, um, how how receptive we are when they have something to say, whether it's about our what we wear out, or you know what they want us to be doing. So, you know, Jess, because you were on the conversation, what did you think about, you know, her commentary? I felt like she had, it's one of those things where, at least for me, before I pass it to you, I always feel like, and maybe this is a Western, you know, thought process, but we're always looked at in comparison to how we size up to be with a man. Like, it's always about, like, oh, you're not doing something to have a man. And everyone doesn't necessarily, you know, subscribe to that doctrine. Everyone isn't out here. I mean, for those that are looking, because, you know, we are a family show and we definitely promote marriage, you know, on this channel. If that's not what you subscribe to, though, I feel like it shouldn't be, you know. Are you muted again, Jess?
No, I
Oh,
was waiting for you to finish. You're
no,
done.
go ahead. No, no, no.
Was that your intro?
I'm parking. I'm parking. I'm in
Okay.
coast mode. Go ahead.
All right. So there's a lot to do in the chat section when I was under this video today. But what I can say is if that is your ideology, then I'm not sure it's fully Western only versus other. I think that that's the narrative that a lot of people are creating, but the ones who are against that type of ideology are very loud. So sometimes it kind of sprinkles and rains over, I was using what's happening now as in comparison, but it sprinkles and rains over what we have going on over here as well. Of course there are going to be different differences because of culture. There are cultural differences that we have to keep in mind, but you have to understand that there are quite a few who still value marriage and its constitution and what it's made up for. So it may not be for everyone, but I feel like it's like the people who are against that ideology that are the loudest, and everyone's listening and pointing to them as reference, and then basically it gets looked at as, okay, that's all the women over here are about. Well, I mean, I can also be talking about my bubble, because I don't hang around with a lot of people who
So
respect.
I'm sorry. I know I'm jumping in the conversation, but yo, we lost power. We lost power,
Oh no.
and it's back. Obviously, back on now. But I kind of heard Kit going in about the show that I did earlier today, and we could talk about that because that's along the lines of the being feminine agenda along with the feminist, I would say, agenda that's being pushed in the United States. So I'm very interested into hearing how you guys feel about that.
Hey, I was just jumping in until you got back on, so it wasn't no dead end. Everybody looking crazy. So I just wanted to
I
make sure.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So wherever you wanted to jump in at, like.
No, let's talk about it. So, from what I heard, Kit, you had made mention about no, a lot, not everyone subscribes to the agenda of the feminist. I mean, that being feminine, doing things for a man, I should say, right? If I'm correct.
Not
And
not doing things for a man, but as far as the way that she, and maybe again because this is where I am, and I have to go with what I know personally, right? It feels like everything was circled and centered around
Male
a
center.
man,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where it was a little bit like, not saying that you can't listen to your man, and not saying that your man can't be. No, no.
I'm listening to you.
Oh, I'm about to say that you. I was like, I don't know. I want to make sure I was. I mean, it just, for me, it just seemed like everything was centered around a man, and it was just like for the pleasing of a man, for the want of a man, for and it was never. And not saying that he didn't give and do things for her, but it was just like the way that she described her ideals. It was just very. It was just very.
It was a little problematic for you.
Not necessarily problematic, because she's not, again, if that's what you subscribe to, then there's nothing wrong with it, right? It just really felt like it was all centered around having a man, wanting to be with a man, needing a man, and not necessarily about like being your own person and having a man.
Well, you see, and that's where I, me personally, I feel like a lot of our culture has it twisted. It's never about that. We want each other essentially, right? You could say, kid, you don't get struck by lightning out there, kid. You could say personally that you you want a man, right? You desire to be with a man to some degree. So if that's the case, why wouldn't you do the things that men that you want? Not every man, but the man that you want. Why wouldn't you do the things that he desires to just be a part of that? Because he's doing things that if he wants you to be desired by you as well.
I'm not saying that that's a problem. What I'm saying is that if y'all were in there, like y'all would understand. Maybe, I mean, am I hearing this wrong? Just like maybe again,
So
maybe
that's
because of where I'm at, I really felt like it was everything around the man, but no real
So
like.
yeah, this is where I disagree, Mingo, with how you premised it. I think it should be that that man should be trying to be the best of his character, to the best of what he can achieve, to the best of everything that he does on his own, and he will automatically be a perfect fit for that woman that he's trying to you know, go to to achieve, or I mean whatever, you know. So and same with the woman. A woman should be doing everything to her best, whether she's with someone, or trying to acquiesce someone or something. They should still be to their best, to the best potential that they can reach. That's where they should be. And then with that being said, then when you come together as one, that's when now you see where each, because everybody has their own autonomy, where we can see what how does it look for me to represent this man, lead our family.
Okay, I hear you. So some of the new ladies on the panel. Miss Adams, let's hear your thoughts on the matter. What's up? What's up?
I'm gonna agree with Jess because I feel like when it comes to like pursuing, I think that's the word she was trying to say, like pursuing. I mean, it's best to be in purpose. And when I say that, it's because when you know, first and foremost, knowing who you are and knowing your identity. Sometimes people get into and know what you want. You have to be intentional with yourself, what you want in a partner. And I feel like when you're in your season, like when you're like walking in purpose and stuff, honestly speaking, God will give you, because we're not gonna, I'm gonna speak, I don't know about you, but we don't go looking for the men. A man who finds a good thing, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So they find us. We're not searching for a man. If anybody else can piggyback, but I feel like when you're in purpose and you're doing everything right and doing the things that you're called to do, that's gonna be added. So
Okay, okay. Um, Dream, what's your thoughts on the topic?
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, I cannot see. Takesha?
that's me, baby.
Yeah, you said that very well. I definitely agree. Um I'm young, so I really haven't a lot too much, but from what I've gone through so far, I feel like if you know yourself, and your purpose, that stuff will come to you. Definitely you need to be in tune with yourself and love yourself before you're stepping out in the first place to kind of be with somebody, because if you can't even be stable within your own mind, how are you gonna support someone else? So yeah.
Okay, okay. I could dig that. Sydney, what's your thoughts?
Thinking on what Takesha was saying, I agree, but I'm gonna add a little stank on it, meaning a man that find up a wife find up a good thing. But I think a lot of women use that line, but don't realize what it's really saying. And what it's saying is you have to be the wife before the man can even find you. So doing certain things to make sure that you are sound and whole as a woman, that then will draw in or bring that man who was supposed to be in your life. And so a lot of the things that we say, oh, you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to do this, do that, being able to do those things for yourself and what that means in terms of being a wife, that will then draw in that man. So it's a lot more that comes to that when you speak on that scripture. But I agree with her.
I agree. I agree. Miss Foster, what up? What's your thoughts on the matter?
Um, I think we as women sometimes we forget that we're the trophies. Like, and that's like the main thing. Like, you have to find yourself first. And like even me, like sometimes like I was having relationship problems and the whole time I was blaming it on the man sometimes, but sometimes it could be us. Like we got to find ourselves. We got to get ourselves. Sometimes you got to break yourself down just to build yourself back up sometimes. So I agree with the girls, but I also agree with them as well. Like it's like we gotta be prepared for this stuff like this. Like if you want something, you got to go get it sometimes, even though it's gonna come to you, but you got to put in work too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
Dion, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Miss Adams.
important to enjoy your singleness, because sometimes people get into situations and they're projecting a lot of like childhood stuff, old old situations. It's really important to really find out who you are. Like, what do you love? That you're not getting into a situation expecting this person to fulfill something that you're missing, like that gap. So like enjoying your singleness, because then you get to discover like, okay, I love this, I love that. And you'll be more like being more intentional, so that when that partner does come, it's more of like a add-on, So I think it's important to embrace your singleness.
Okay. Dion, what you think about this?
So I feel like we touched on a couple of things concerning it seems like more so about dating and what you're in search for as a woman. And there was a portion of it when Kit was talking about the live earlier that you did. So my thoughts concerning the live, I'm gonna start there, is more so I felt like it was a lot of directives concerning how to get a man, how to keep a man. And I feel like I'm a little I have mixed feelings on the keep a man part, because I feel like when it comes to keeping a man, you can dress up every single day, you can smell like roses when you wake up in the morning, you can cook every meal, you can, do all the things. And if that particular man wants to leave, he's going to leave. So I feel like it can be harmful to some women's psyche to sit down and have this mindset of, well, I did everything right. How could he leave me? How could he cheat on me? How could he dot, 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 dot? And now you're left. Then what do you do? Then what are you supposed to do as far as any type of changing and growth? What do you do? Because you did everything that the person told you to. They gave you a playbook and said, if you do XYZ, you're going to get your man and you're going to keep your man. And then your man left. Then what? So I feel like sometimes that type of rhetoric can be a bit problematic on some women's psyches. And I think we need to be careful when we say things like that, because there's nothing you can do to keep a person. A person wants to be there because they desire and want to be there. So there's no keeping. I don't subscribe to that. I don't feel like I keep you. I feel like you desire to be with me and I desire to be with you, and we make it work based on our commitment to one another. So I feel like when we talk about these other things, it gives me the ick a little bit. So I'm gonna start there and put a comma.
So I heard everything all of y'all said, and I ain't with half of it. Y'all tripping. First of all,
you can't keep
first of all,
be cat.
no, kid, stop it. First of all, to say keep a man, what you have to understand, one thing is what she was trying to say earlier is doing the things that's important for your man to be content in a relationship. When you keep when it's more along the lines of, I don't really have to do nothing, and like Miss Foster said, I'm the prize. That is a mindset that I believe our community of women picked up heavy. So much so that it's almost like I'm above the man. No, we both could be a prize to each other, right? We both can grasp and learn and build. If the only time we can say the opposite is the prize is when I have something that you want, and
Exactly.
vice versa. If you got something that I want, you the prize. If I got something you want, so if I got money, the cause, I could change your life, I'm the prize. If you got the body, the sex, the inspiration, the things that men look for, you're the prize. So I think we got to change the language. What the woman was saying earlier when I did you know what? I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna play a snippet of it just so you guys can because I know not everyone saw it, but just a little part. So that way you could get an understanding of what it was about. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Y'all could? Okay, good. Want us to get I'm realizing is that your viral color men are choosing not to even get married.
And I can
And in the
understand.
black, right. And in the black community ourselves, we're married more than our female counterpart. But that shows that a lot of black men are choosing to marry out. And why? And I believe, we might not have the clear answers, but I believe the question of why should be there. How do you feel about that?
I mean, most definitely. Again, I don't want to talk about a specific group of women. It's just that when you ask the question why, you will soon come to realize that the problem doesn't lie with men. Because men are willing to provide, they're willing to work, they're willing to give a woman whatever. So really, a woman, she already has everything in the man that she's asking for. She just has to play her part. And like I said, it's not even that hard. It's harder to have your guard up all the time, be bitter and be negative, than being actually in your feminine energy. And these traditional values, they need to be brought back. I see so many women online behaving shameful, but they love it. They love it. A woman can never be in a position to say, I do what I want. This is my life, my body, my choice. No, you're a woman. You have to protect yourself from the outside world. Certain parts of your body are exclusive to your.
So just that part right there, right? Where in that did she say anything about women, are all about the men? She's saying women need to protect themselves. She's saying it for a reason. And if you choose to be with a man, that man is supposed to be your protector, your provider, your all of the above. So in a way, it's more of carrying yourself so that man is pleased with you, and guarantee that man is doing a lot of things to please you as well. So it is a barter system that we have between each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What she mentioned initially was saying that pretty much the man already has it together. He wants to provide and he has the means to provide. I don't think that's a fully accurate statement.
Correct.
So I want to start there. The second part of it is saying that, okay.
But hold on, let me question. No, before you continue, why is it that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that statement that is not the case?
Why I say that is that even the state that we live in, their minimum wage that's supposed to be considered a living wage is $7.25. Who is?
But no one's making that. It's just the
They're
minimum wage,
not.
but no one's making that unless you're a waitress or a waiter.
And we go to enough eateries to see there's enough men working there.
But the percentage is not high. On either side, for men and women, that's waiters and waitresses. The average person is making, now you have to look at it yearly. The average person in America, the average man in America makes roughly $48,000 a year. The average woman in America makes roughly $42,000 a year.
Now, is that, you're saying the American man, is that supposed to be based on which race now? Are we talking about
Listen,
black?
all men,
General?
of all men. That's the average salary of American men. So to say provide, right? That's a different thing. We're not talking about providing to where you a stay-at-home wife. We're talking about providing. I'm providing protection. I'm providing provision. I'm giving you, even if you have to go 50-50 with me, I'm still giving you something. You know what I'm saying? I'm still giving you some type of household that you couldn't do on your own because it's so expensive to live. So I'm putting half, you're putting half. My 50 and your 50 is 100,000. That's a
Well,
form of provision as well.
you're absolutely right when you're going half and half, which is totally okay, and I'm sure a majority of people are doing that as far as middle class and even lower middle class. So, looking up the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics in June 2020 is showing that the average annual salary for Black men in the U.S. was $43,000 or $828 per week.
And that
So,
went up this year. That went up to 40 because people, economy, inflation, most of these jobs started paying more. So the average salary for a Black man in the United States, as far as the last 2022 research, was $48,000 a year.
so how is it 48,000 for? It's for all American men, and then it's also for Black men.
Yeah,
I just.
black men are a part. So we all are a part of that equation. It's just white men actually make $52,000 a year on average. So white men make more than we do.
Okay. So even though that is a decent wage. I mean, even comparable again to a city like Charlotte. To be comfortable, supposedly, and statistically, it says for you to be comfortable, you have to make $100,000 a year. I don't know that many people making that generally.
But you and I together can make $100,000 a year.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but I mean, most people are not making that as a single person. So I'm saying, as a single person, trying to bring that to your potential partner, your potential mate, or someone that you're interested in, that's not really happening. My point in saying that is her saying, okay, well, the guy already has it together. They got it together. They're perfectly packaged. Boom, stamp of approval. You need to have your stuff together. You need to be in your feminine energy. You need to have basically be all the things that the man you desire wants. Now, what does that look like? From what I understood from when she was speaking was a lot of um there was definitely submission there, and there was also an aesthetic of how to keep yourself up, how to look, how to dress. If there's certain things that he doesn't like, you should change it to this, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I feel like that is going to be more of a subjective thing as opposed to this is just a blanket way of how you should be, because every man is not, you know, the same mentally when it comes to, okay, well, I want you to be like, I want you to dress like this. Some guys are okay with certain, you know, wardrobes. Some guys are okay with a certain, you know, outspokenness, and some guys don't. So I think that part I feel is subjective. But when you make it more of a blanket thing of this is how you should be, and this is how you're going to be able to get a man, and this is how you're going to be able to keep a man, that's the thing that I have a personal issue with.
If you really want to talk about it, it actually there was like a 1950s like it was like a document. I'm gonna see if I can find it and I'll send it to you guys. But basically, in this document, it was basically showing like what you should be doing, you know, in order to cater to your man. And one of those things was making sure that before he got home, that that you were actually, you know, you had your makeup, you had your hair and stuff done, and the kids were already put, you know, they were silent and they were just ready for him to come home and pat him on the head or whatever he was going to do, and like all of these things. And it was actually, and that's what a lot of her rhetoric reminded me of. And not only that, she also said we need to go back to more traditional times, and that is around that time of the tradition. I'm gonna see if I can find it and send it to you all. But it's actually, I'll even read it to you. But I'm gonna definitely.
That's your boy Matt. Yo, Matt is a fool. Don't listen to Matt. What up, man?
All of this sounds like a made up woman to me.
I'm over here behaving, Matt. I'm over here
Oh,
trying
it's
to
real.
be productive,
It's
Matt.
real.
What do you mean? What do you mean by a made up woman?
Like you're not gonna always like a woman is not gonna always have her stuff together as well. Like you're gonna get some women that doesn't have the total package as well. I feel like with her, from her standpoint, like you gotta already have everything together when that's not gonna always be the case.
So, when okay, this is and this is a really good topic, and I'm happy we're having it. When you talk about have it all together, you have to look at the man that you desire, right? Of course, there's going to be men that'll take women however they are. But then the thing you have to ask yourself is, do you want that man? Do you want the man that'll take whatever, right? So if you want a man that he's the total package, what is that guy? He might be 6 feet, right? He might not be a millionaire, but he makes good amount of money to where if you did have to stop working, he could take care of you. Let's say you got pregnant. That man can now say, you can stop working and I'll take care of the family financially. That man desires a certain type of woman, believe it or not. It is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. So, this is how it goes. If he's with you from start and, you may be out of shape or whatever it is, that's fine. And he's usually more apt to say, I'm with you for however you grow, and we could go on till the sun goes down. That's fine. But if you want to meet that man and you already maybe have 3-4 kids, 2-3 baby daddies, you may have put yourself in bad situations. Those type of men are not really looking for you. He wants the young woman. He wants the woman that kept herself up. And if you are older and he might not want children, at least you gave him something to say, all right, you kept yourself up. That specific man. And he might have a lot going for himself. So that's why I say, yes, there's many different types of men. But the problem why I'm noticing a lot of our women are single is because a lot of those women are shooting for that same man. And that man might want something different. Yes, sir.
I do have a question. So let's say a woman or women, a group of women, sit down and follow these things to the letter. They follow this game plan of how to walk, how to talk, how to dress, how to be. And then you get with a particular man. How does that man know that she's being genuine or if she's just putting on for the sake of catching him? Like, how do you know that's a genuine connection? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, now it's almost like you just got the secret sauce for the Big Mac, and now it's not a Big Mac no more. It's a McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? It's a McDonald's. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let me answer that, right? All relationships are a risk. When I met you, I didn't know who you was, right? I didn't know if you was just like, yo, let me put up these catfish pictures on MySpace and hopefully he gonna throw out his fishing rod and catch it. I don't know that. All I know is I saw you and I was like, damn. And then I pursued you, right? And then whatever happens after that happens. But this is where we have to vet people out the right way before we just say, let me jump off the bridge. The problem is a lot of women are giving these men children without vetting these men correctly, and vice versa. A lot of these good men are planting seeds in these women without knowing or making sure that they're his wife before they do that. So we have a bunch of confusion, a bunch of backwards ass people. Hold on one second. We got a super chat. Queen Lala with the $1.99 super chat. I greatly appreciate you. And guess what? I'm not going to give you a half clap. Queen Lala with the $1.99 super chat. She says, isn't being feminine better for women versus feminists? Let's answer that question really quick. She paid for that one. So, isn't it better to be a woman versus a feminist? Because this ties along with what we're talking about. And why I say that is because a lot of the agendas and the mindset that we're hearing, and not saying you guys, right? But what happens in our society, which is what the lady was speaking about earlier, is more of a feminist agenda. It's not the agenda of a lady that's like, I want to be protected by a man. I want to be shielded by a man. And I want that man to guide the family to the next step. Literally be a leader.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel like, especially the age we're growing up in now, a lot of women my age are kind of getting that agenda forced on them. the I'm strong, independent Black woman. I was growing up listening to that from my mother. So the older I got, the more I realized like this is not healthy at all for us, because the more you see, the more you're having single Black households and children being raised without a father and no wedlock, nothing. So yeah,
And and I'm so happy, Dream. You're 21 and you're able to see that. That is dope. That is dope. Shout outs to you for that.
Thank you.
Shout outs to you. Because you know what, a woman like you at your age, it'll kind of show that you won't be the one intentionally creating broken homes.
I
So
definitely want
that's
out to have both parents in the household, and I want to
right.
avoid divorce as much as possible. So I'm very diligent and strategic on who I give my time to.
Shout out to you. That is dope. That is dope. Hold
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah, you're right. I got to give that a whole. Before we move on, we do have another $9.99 super chat from Media Man. My God. You want to read that, babe? You got it?
Hold on. Mm-hmm.
Got to put them
So
glasses on.
so in Black men making it in America, we report some good news. Black men's economic standing. More than 1 in 2 Black men, 57%, have made it into the middle class or higher as adults today. Okay, and this
Right.
says 2019. 2019, sorry. Yeah.
2019. So, says a lot. So the men that you guys are looking for, they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. They're
Mhm.
single, they're in the middle class, and they're childless, which is super important. So that stands a chance for a woman, you know, I don't know, I'm gonna call myself old. I ain't gonna call none of y'all women old. Y'all all look young and fly. But a woman like Dream, you know, where she's going to look for a man to potentially court her. And my advice to you as a young lady, and I would love the fact that you're on this panel. I would love for the ladies on the panel to give you some advice before we leave. But something that, because kids sometimes kid can give good advice. Sometimes. So so we gonna make sure she drops some knowledge on you. But it is super important to get guided by wives, guided by women that want to be or are in the direction that you want to be. Mm-hmm. Don't listen to, sometimes women don't listen to men. I'm just here. So Miss Adams, I'm back at you. What do you think about this topic?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Say again?
No, I didn't hear you. For some reason,
Oh, you okay? No, I said, let us know, what do you think about this topic?
pertaining to the question or overall the Media Man one, or
no, overall.
Honestly, growing up, I could just go based off like growing up. I came from a 2-parent household, and I saw, my mom and my dad, that love, and then of course as we got older, they divorced or whatever. But I can definitely say, like, even down to Dream, like watching, because after a while, like, I'm a single mom of 2. It's not all peaches and cream. Like, it's trash, because it's like me as a mom, like, yes, my daughters, they see a happy mom and a healthy mom, but the goal is for them not to continue to just see me being single, raising them, because then all I'm going to introduce them to is how to be a strong, independent Black woman. Then when it's time for a man to come on board, it's going to be hard for them to leave or be submissive, because it's like all they know is like to be strong and to be independent. So I say, like, when the time comes, I know for me, the only thing I can do is continue to focus on myself, continue to make myself happy, continue to work on ways to make sure that I'm healthy so that my kids can have a healthy mom. And just doing what makes me happy, honestly speaking, and staying in purpose. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me alive. Is like doing the things that I'm called to do and just staying in alignment. Once that happens, I know that the man that God has for me, he's gonna give it to me. But until then, I'm in my soft girl era, y'all. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm this strong. No, I am definitely in a soft era, and that's just pretty much it.
So don't so are you aligning yourself for the man that you want? Because I heard you say earlier about being happy in your singleness, but I think a lot of women get caught up with that and they don't take the time to say, okay, what qualities of man do I need for my lifestyle? Because you come in with 2 children, for men that, if depending on the type of man you want, he might not want that. So if he does, you might have to make yourself desirable for him. So are you aligning yourself up with the man to be that woman for the man that you want,
It's
that he wants?
very
It's a
specific.
lot.
Yeah, being specific. When the time comes, right now, I'm not open. I'm not right now. I'm not looking to date right now because I'm focused on other things. But when the time does come in that season, I think I would be for sure available to put myself out there because, like you said, I'm a package. I got 2 kids. I got 2 whole girls. Like, I have to make sure that the man that I'm pursuing has children because I don't want no more children. I'm gonna be very transparent. I do not want no more children. So they have, I come with 2, but
You say, you're saying this on YouTube now. They got 41,000 potential people watching you now.
that's fine.
All right. Saying.
But when that person does come, I pray that he has children so that we. Because
Okay.
I don't want no more. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm like, but when the time does come, I definitely will be making myself available for that. And until then, just continue to just work on, myself.
Right.
And so that's all.
Okay. Sydney, what's your thoughts on this topic?
Yes. So my thoughts are on the feminine versus feminism, so to say. I feel like feminine is a state of being in the submissiveness, being a counterpart to the man, so on and so forth, whatever that looks like for you and your belief system. But I feel like feminism has negative connotations now to where it is more so used to weaponize what it means to be a woman. And sometimes even against women. I won't get into all, the different pieces that come with that, but not even just against men, but also against women, biological women. And so I think you really have to think about what that means for you. And then in a greater context of what it means in this world, in this era that we live in now, because feminism is definitely, in my opinion, different than being feminine.
Yeah. And to this question right here, feminism means women having the same rights and opportunity as men. For some women, if you don't support feminism, then which rights that you have would you like to give up? I am not a woman, but I would say when you have these topics, right, it's not about the rights to give up. All men agree that we want equal rights to y'all, but equal rights is truly equal, right? Meaning that if you do a crime, you serve the same amount of time as me. If you don't pay your child support, you go to jail. If you don't do half of what my responsibilities are, you get the same consequences as me. If I gotta go to war, you gotta go to war. This is equality down the middle. And like I say, what we see when we hear that is women usually use those points to say, okay, I got equality because it's benefiting me at these certain points, but I don't really want to take full accountability when it comes down to having to truly have to deal with what the world dishes out to men. So that's one point. But we all agree that we want women to have the right to choose, the right to vote, the right to, be able to speak their minds. We live in a liberal country for the most part, right? So we want y'all to be able to do and have these things without losing certain rights. But being a feminine woman is just like Sydney said. that's a different ball game. It's having that softness to where when a man chooses to come in your life, he sees that and he nurtures that feminine part of you. I'm dropping bombs tonight, y'all. Y'all sitting there like, y'all having like a whole woman conference going on. I feel you. Bombs. Oh, y'all wasn't ready for this. Y'all was remember me talking crap last.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, two. You know what I'm saying? We out here. What's your thoughts on this, Jess?
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely the way this world is going is kind of weird where it's like there is a level of delusion when it comes to certain things, as in even
it's tough.
I can't touch that. Okay.
Touch it.
Say it, Jess.
No.
Get on it, Jess. Get on it, Jess.
Do it.
Okay, even the abilities of a man, like, you know, a lot of women with their wanting equality, they're taking away the delusion that even our body structure, biology wise, things like that are different, and they don't want to kind of look at it as what it really is, that there are differences. Now, I'm definitely a proponent of equity. Equity makes more sense when it comes to the two different genders.
Help me understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if you were talking about strength-wise. Were you talking about physicality when you mentioned that? Like,
so I just feel like when we talk about, even with feminists and everything like that and wanting equality, I don't think they recognize that we are not the same. Though we come with our different strengths of importance and and value and everything, I think that we should still be. So with equity, if you want to know what equity means the quality of being fair and impartial, right? But it's not necessarily as in being equal. Like, let's say you have two people working in a job, they get the same wage, right? But if you see that one person coming in more days than this other person, you can't expect them to really get the same payment at the end. I mean, you know, you can, you know, gift them, but that is it fair? Like, if they're not coming as many times as one person as the other, you cannot expect them to have the same pay or receive the same amount, even though their pay may be the same. So when we're talking about with men and women, we have to kind of think about that we have our strengths in certain areas and our weaknesses in certain areas, and we cannot just be like, no, I want the same things as a man and that's it. It's not logical. So we have to kind of think of it in its way, but that doesn't take away from what we do. It's just that we want that. I think when it comes to equity, my idea of it is how to be looked at as a human, and you know, not just as for what we can do for you or what we can, you know, we want to be looked at in a humane way. And I think that's like the most, because when you look at someone as a human, you're looking at them as, dang, for her, this may be hard. For him, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. You know, my job is really a male-centric job. There's a lot of men that work there, and it's physical. Of course, I don't expect a lot of women to apply for the job. Even I hire people, and I don't expect to hire a lot of women for the job because of the physicalities that come with it. But that mind of I could do exactly what a man can do, some women take it to the next level, then they get hurt. But other than saying, what can I add to this organization of equal importance to allow it to run? You can't run a company and not say that every level of it, down to, let's say you ran let's use a cable company, right? You got customer service, you got, you know, the sales, you got billing, you got all of these parts. Then you even got the technicians. but no part of that job would run without every part of the job. So women, I believe, need to look at that. Yeah, we are different, but what we add to this world is of equal importance. If I'm quoting you correct, just justified.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't sound. I sound like I messed that up. Yo, Kit, what's your thoughts on the topic, Kit?
No, I wasn't trying to leave again. I've been here, but I think it's super unfair that we were put in positions to be strong, and then we were punished for the same behavior. A lot of men stopped stepping up and stopped. Men used to be proud of having relationships, and then as soon as we decided that we wanted to be able to be paid the same amount and not be paid less because we were women, all of a sudden is, well, since you all want to act like men and do what men do, then now you all handle these things. And then it forced us to say, okay, well, you know what? The car can't stop running because now you don't want to drive it. Now you put the keys and the wheel and the ignition in our hands. And then when we decided to, instead of saying, oh, well, we're so sorry that we didn't fall in line, can you come back and drive our car? We decided to go get educated. We decided to do the things to keep things going and keep things running. And then somehow we got punished for it, because never did we just decide to go and do our own thing versus, run back to men to fix it. Not saying that men, husbands, proper relationships don't serve and do their purpose, but it's almost like everything we do, whether if we're soft in our femininity and we pick a relationship and we pick wrong, or we should have picked better. It's never he should have been a better man. It's always we should have picked a better one. And again, when it comes, no, sir, you asked me a question. I was on mute. My camera was off. I was minding my business. Okay. Like, can I help you? Because I was minding all the things me. I was over here eating some guacamole and some chips and stuff, and on my little spaceship and stuff. Like, I was minding my business. I'm sorry, you said something.
Go ahead, Kate.
Oh, okay.
I'll get you, Kate. Go ahead, Kate.
I know you'll come back for me, and I'm gonna be waiting right here like this. So, again, I personally feel like why do people have this bad misconception that Black women just want to be strong? I don't want to be fucking strong.
Because y'all say it.
Somewhere with my toes up and
y'all say it.
Somebody blowing a fan on me and feeding me grapes and my man that's acting like a whole human, not getting on my damn nerves, is like, you like your grapes, baby. I mean, that's what we actually want. If you want. And if you go get that blue fucking cap, I swear to God, me and your husband are about to fall.
You know that's about to happen. The only time he get up is for that daggone hat, girl.
You already know I know. That's why I'm like, I don't even know why. Of course he got that blue bullshit on. Here he go. Here he go. Come on, man. I'm not. That's signed up.
I'm listening, Kate.
Again, Black women do not want to be strong. We were forced into it, okay? And then the crazy thing is think about any other culture, think about any other cultural woman. You have never heard someone say, oh, she's a strong white woman.
No.
Oh, she's a strong Asian woman. Oh, she's a strong Latina. No, when a Latina is spicy, oh, she doesn't have an attitude. She's spicy. You know what I'm saying? She has flavor. If we have any flavor, oh, she's aggressive and she sounds like she's about to burn our house down. Like, no, like we have no desire to be strong. If we had men who actually could lead and step into a leadership role to put us in positions for us to be feminine, we would absolutely do it unequivocally, without a doubt, because that's what our natural energy as women is. We absolutely want, and I'm not talking about I'm no Mingo, even with your blue cap on. No, no, no. The current ladies today, unfortunately, have been indoctrinated over and over with the, oh, I don't work a job, bitch, I am a job. Come and pay me for the, but we're the show, so I'm not going to say that part. So again, if it was up to us and we could actually trust and rely and depend on our mate and know that our mate was actually going to do the things that we needed done as women, we would not only reciprocate. You can't tell me because I did it. I wanted to but hella dusty and I smell bad. Where's Leon? Leon, get your ass on the
If he
damn
ain't here,
podcast.
I'll bring him up on the panel. I'll bring him up on the panel. Because let me tell you what you're saying right now. Did you hear what Dream said? Dream is 21 years old, and Dream said that she is hearing that to be a strong, independent woman. Now, to say that you was indoctrinated with that, who indoctrinated you with that? Who pushed that on you? Call it what you want. Let's get off of talking about the welfare system. Let's get off of that topic. Let's just look at today. Today. It's your mother's.
Right, but here's the thing. You have a lot of women right now who have been working to literally break the cycles of all things financial.
But they're not breaking the cycles of creating families. They're destroying families. So they're having babies, but instead of focusing on, oh, how could I be more rich? Let's focus on how could this child that I have here be involved with the father that we have here and make sure. This is why we say should have picked better. It's not all instances. I said it the other day. Some men ain't ish. We already know that. We already know that. Some men might.
Why is that? But why is that the okay narrative?
Because just like, but why is it an option? Hold on,
somebody
Dream,
got Golden Girls
Dream?
or something playing in the background. Cause I don't know who got the TV anymore.
Get old behind. Dream.
First things first, I'm watching Simone Biles bust ass. Okay, don't.
Okay, well, put it on mute.
Dream. What was the question?
There should rise.
Oh man,
we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Crackling.
Your audio.
Your sound went out, Mama.
You sound like Jessica last week.
Huh? Whatever.
We can't hear you for some reason.
Oh no.
I'm guessing but it sounded like she was asking, and I'll let her when she comes back. I'll let her, quote it. But what she sounds like she was asking is why is that an option of men, right? But the same reason why there's an option of no good women. There's no good people in the world. It is what it is, right? The job you have, the one job you have is to siphon through that to find the right person. It's not going to be perfect though. And she's back now, so I'm going to allow her to ask the question.
Can you hear me?
Perfect, loud and clear.
Yes. My question was, why is there a bad option or a bad man to begin with? Why?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to answer that for you. And my answer to that was the same way there's a bad option of women for men to pick. There's going to be bad. You have to think about this, right? Who primarily is raising these young boys to be the men that you're dating right now?
It doesn't have to be bad though. The reason why it's bad is because a lot of these black men are not having fathers in the household. That's why there's
that's partially it, right? But you got to look at it like this, right? To blame it all on the fathers. To blame if a child is if LeBron goes to the NBA, right? The mama takes all the credit. Oh my God, my son made it to NBA and I helped him get there. But what happens when that son ain't ish and he goes to jail? Same thing. Why wouldn't the mom? Now the daddy ain't ish, and the daddy's the reason why he's in jail. No, the mama creates both sides of the pendulum.
I feel like we're not giving.
Because guess what? She's the one that's there. Yes, boss.
I feel like we're not giving these men opportunities to be fathers sometimes too, because to piggyback on what you said as well, like you can have Like, you have some men that don't even want to, like, okay, your mother kept your father from you, but now you're grown. You're a grown man now. You make your own choices. So why not try to build that relationship with your dad? Forgive this man, because a lot of men don't like to forgive their parents. Forgive
Mm.
this man and allow them to be in your life to, I mean, I know it's not too late. It's never too late to give someone an opportunity. And that's the same way with me. Like, to piggyback on what she said, like, I'm a single parent as well. But I do have my kids' fathers in their life, where one of them is absent now, but when he was here, he was being a father. And don't get me wrong, I've been a single mother for years before they even came to try to step up and be daddy, but I didn't keep that from my kids. I still allowed them to be, okay, you're daddy. Like, at the end of the day, I can't raise these kids on my own. I need a man to help me with these kids. So I feel like sometimes women, we are so scarred sometimes to where we don't even give men an opportunity to step up and be that one sometimes, where we just so, like, just back in the day, how we were raised and stuff like that, you expecting this out of this man sometimes, but sometimes this man is not going to be able to give you that.
Right. And this is why we say with Dream, there is always going to be the selection of that, but exactly what everyone is saying on the panel, right? Because there's definitely a selection of no good women out here. I can show you a woman right now where there was a room with like 100 and something women in it that was literally fighting each other, right? Those women are not wives. No, they're not wives. You know what I'm saying? So there's no good women, there's no good men. My job as a man, was to shuffle through the no good women to find Dion, right? And make her my wife. Same thing with me. Her job as a woman was to vet me out as a man, look at my qualities and morals as a man, and say, you know what? This man is a leader, protector, for what she wanted, and to find it. Yes, you have to, unfortunately, date, but dating essentially is dumb. Because if you look at dating is what people keep doing to throw people away. Find a man that's going to court you. That's what you should be looking for.
You know what I think? You should give the definitions, because I think a lot of people use those terms interchangeably, and it sounds like you're stating it as if they're totally two different things. So I
What do you
think it
mean,
would be,
dating and courting?
yes, the difference between those two.
So yeah, exactly what I said. Dating is I'm going on a date with you, but I'm dating your friend and I'm dating her homegirl, and I'm also dating your mom, and I might be dating your stepsister as well. When I'm courting you, I'm very intentional with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very intentional. I'm
So that's
offering you.
monogamous dating, that you're courting one person and you're taking them
Yes,
seriously
I'm
once.
taking
Okay.
you. Yes, I'm taking you seriously. But just like the other ladies said on the panel, right? You have to make yourself a wife first. So you have to be really fully prepared to be a wife. There's going to be no good men in the world. It is what it is. There's evil people. There's good people. It's both sides of the coin in every way. But as Kit was saying, where women was being Kit, where women was being forced into being this strong, independent, I don't need a man. Guess what? I was a son that heard that. So if I feel as if a son, my mama is saying, I don't need you as a man, what does that do to the male psyche when he gets older, to how he views women? This cycle that gets perpetuated goes on and on. This is why it is the best thing to marry before you carry.
I have a
Most of us
question.
make, yes, hon.
So my question is, and it actually does allude to what's her name? What's her name that you interviewed today with the clip?
Her name is Saraya.
Okay. Well, Soraya. Soraya said that, again, most men are coming already put together. They're already ready to be providers. So it just sounds like, to me, the understanding is that basically the only thing that you need to come with to be equipped to be a quote unquote good husband is to be able to provide financially. Whereas women are required to have a laundry list of attributes and aesthetics to be considered a good wife or wife material. So
But
I would
that's
like
not
to
that.
know what that's about
All right.
based on what she said.
So based on,
Do you think most men are coming basically readying themselves? Is there a readiness with men to be a husband? And do they
so
think that that's
you gonna let
only
me you gonna let me
no,
answer the
because it's a two-part question. Because it's a two-part
question?
question. The other
All right, let
part
me answer the
is
first part. I'm already
okay.
lost.
Well, then go ahead.
so when you look at the first part of your question, are men ready to be husbands? We come to it with more than just money. You know what I'm saying? What I look at is stats. The stats say that 56% of men, well, 57% of men are single, childless, and in the middle class. Black men, now we're specifically talking about black men. Black men are married at a higher rate than our female counterpart, right? Black women marry at a 1 out of 4. Black men marry higher. So that means black men are marrying out, right? For not saying the most part, we marry black women the most, but the percentage of men marry out, they marry out. It is what it is, but they're married. So it doesn't mean that they're perfect husbands, right? What that means is that they're trying, right? So that means that at least you got a group of men that are like, I want to be a husband. And it's more than our female counterpart. Black men also have less children than black women. So, and I just want to be clear, does everyone on the panel understand how that statistic works? Just to be clear, everyone understands how black men can have less children than black women.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to be clear, because I don't want to keep going. It's like, how are you saying? What the hell are you talking about? So if that's the case and black men have less children, that's just saying that these black men want to be husbands. We want to be ready. We are ready. We don't know. We might not know the right thing to do all the time. We won't and are not perfect as men, but we are at least giving it a fighting chance, right? So men are looking for wives, is what I'm trying to say. Essentially, we want y'all. We want wives.
So
the other part to your question?
No, because I don't feel like the first part was answered. So I feel I'll be honest. My question is, do you feel that men are being in a space of husband readiness? We're not saying the desire. We're talking about if you're saying to women, hey, you gotta smell good, look good, you got to be able to cook clean, you got to be in your feminine energy, you got to be submissive, you got to be all these things, you got to be God-fearing, you got to make sure that you can cook oxtails and macaroni and cheese without having the macaroni and cheese arms. Like, you have all these things that you got to do, right? You better do it. Make the peach cobbler like his mama
Okay.
made it, and the
All right.
roti
All right.
skills and all of that.
All right.
Right?
Get to the point. Get to the point. I'm
Boom.
listening.
Where's all of that conversation when it comes to men? Because again, I only feel like homegirl only mentioned they just want to provide. They're ready. They're providing. We talked about the middle class. They're working. They got a good job. Whoop-de-whoop. What else are they doing besides having a job? What other attributes are they bringing to be husband ready?
So let me ask you.
When you finish, Mingo, I want to jump in because I actually want to read something. Remember, I was telling you I was going to find out. So if you heard what Soraya was saying earlier and what I'm going to read to you, it's literally going to put you right back in the same place. But go ahead, Mingo.
All right. So what you're asking is what are men expected to do? Essentially, that was you just took the longest street around New York City to ask that question.
All around the mulberry bush.
all around the mulberry bush to get to that one question. So that she's not saying that when she said men are ready, right? Meaning that we're ready. We're coming to you with, if it's not full, I'm making $200,000-$300,000 a year. I'm coming with a salary to the table. I'm coming with the 4 P's, as I've always mentioned. Shout out to Crimson Cure. The protection, the provision, the problem solving, and the procreation. I'm courting you. Those are huge. And to minimize those things from a man is a problem, because a man will risk his life for his wife if need be, and wouldn't even have a problem doing it. I would die for you today if somebody broke up in this house trying to protect you. I would put my life on the line for you any day. Right now, and everyone knows you're a stay-at-home wife. It wasn't always that way, but you had to work before. But I always told you that I was going to work so hard that one day this will be your life. So this is what this is what men, they might not have it all in the beginning, but what you look for, Dream, this is to you. What you look for in a man is a man that not just he has potential. That's not good enough. What you need to be looking for is that man is on his way up. He doesn't have to be up, but you see that man get up every day working hard. That man, when he says he's going to do something, he does it. He's on time when he said he's going to be somewhere. He has integrity, as you said. Make sure he has family values. These are the things that these women are not looking for. They're literally giving these men babies because they got nice legs. Yes.
But see, exactly what you said is correct in the sense of integrity, being a man of your word, being timely, being good with your time of management and money. You gave a good list of things. My question was, do you feel like most men are preparing themselves and being husband ready? Because the things that you said that you do for me is now because you're my husband. I'm not saying that you weren't doing some of those things beforehand. So that in no way was it me minimizing what the 4 P's are in any kind of way. It's more so the fact that is that rhetoric, is that ideology being pushed on men to have all of those things, be a man of integrity, be a man of your word, be time management, have your money together, da 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 da. I don't feel like it's being pushed as much as it is to be a certain type of woman.
I don't think
That's all I got to say. But go ahead, Kit, you had something to say, Kit. We was gonna read it.
Money brings more women.
True.
You just say that.
Facts. Boom. Hold on. We need to drop something on what she just said just now.
that doesn't.
Not more money.
I would say no. I'm gonna be a little vulgar. More money brings more pussy. It don't bring more women, and there's a big difference. You can get more sex, but you're not gonna get more relationships
or
valuable relationships. That's different.
Great wording, Dion. Great wording.
Sorry.
Word.
That's real.
We grown.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah. And I don't honestly.
This is a family show. Yes, Dream.
Men are not being taught these things at all.
No.
The dating now is horrible. A lot of us are very much single, not getting married. A lot of the Black men my age are not told how to be a man. Accountability, integrity, not just protection and providing. That's easy stuff, honestly. Do you know how to talk to a woman in her feminine energy? She's a lady, don't go back and forth with her. Men, they're not being told this at all. They're just being told, because of the agenda that's being pushed, hey, if you make a lot of money, like she said, it brings a lot of, and they think that's happiness. And then these boys soon to figure out that, yeah, you can sleep with all the women you want and you're still living by yourself alone. No children, not married, nothing.
Or living with your mama.
In the basement. I'm sorry.
Well, Dream. I personally won't advise you to talk to men 21. That's crazy. Most men don't.
I'm thinking about 21, about 30. In that age.
Most men start finding their stride roughly around 31. Right?
Roughly.
So it might seem old for you now, right?
I like them
But
old.
Yeah.
I like them all.
well.
All our viewers, she likes them all.
You know what I'm saying? She likes them old. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you gotta look at, you yourself shouldn't be looking at guys 21, because men 21 they're now really learning themselves, right? Men are, you biologically was meant to mature more, because if you didn't have a child right now, you would have to be on your game. Men don't have that same biologically, we don't have that same pressure as y'all. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that same biological pressure. So it takes us a little bit more time to get there. But when we get there, we get there. Now, when we look at the amount of men, as I said, percentage-wise, if you're saying that men aren't ready, I wouldn't say that, because if 57% of men are single and in the middle class and childless, and Media Man, if you could throw that age bracket for me in the comment section, to where we can know roughly around what age that is, then we would know that Black men are doing just fine. It may just be, one, your environment and where you're around and the type of people you're around, right? So, and if you do desire maybe a man a little older, learn how to go places where those men that you desire are.
Sometimes, too, the older men are almost the same as the younger ones. A lot of Black men are just, we got a lot of Black women too. We all just have a lot of learning to do. I feel like we just been through a lot as a race altogether, and we're kind of like trying to figure it out.
It's time.
And I feel like we're also fighting each other a lot. It's like you're going against each other, and this is exactly what they want us to do.
Let's break this cycle.
Yeah, and that's, exactly. I want to break that cycle. And that's why I say, like, we may not be able to influence adults now, but really focus on the children and focus on the upcoming generations, because they're the most important. So that's why I say a lot of men these days need to be in their children's lives, stop having unprotected sex just with anyone, be more diligent. I know that you mentioned that, 21-year-olds my age, they may not be ready, but what is their position in? Like, they're still in this society. I'm pretty sure they still, desire women. So what is their position at that age? Are they supposed to grow for wife?
So
or are they having fun?
No, they're not supposed to be looking for wives at 21. At 21, no job. And let me tell you why. A 21-year-old young man does not get trusted in the workplace to get hired to make a certain salary that is enough to provide for a wife and children. And I can tell you that because I'm in corporate, right? And I hire. It's very hard for a young man to get trusted. So the likelihood is that he won't make money to provide for a family at that age. What that young man should be doing is working hard. Now, if you dated him at 21 and you see his, like we said, that hard work that he's putting in, then fine, that's fine. That should be a man you look at, right? But if your desire is to be a wife and having children off the rip while you're in your most fertile years, you might not want to deal with that guy because financially it's going to cost him. And then that might start, creating rift in your relationship. I'm not a psychologist or a psychologist. I don't know. All I'm saying is my observable reality is this, right? I'm speaking numbers, right? So when I look at it, I do know that from my facts that, So Media Man just dropped some facts here. He said 33-year-old Black men and up make up the majority of 50,000 and up per earners. So, which aligns with MS. When you say MS, I don't know what that means. With the age that the average Black man gets married at 33. So at 33-year-old, and that's true. Most Black men get married at the age of 33 because usually that's when he's really getting his foot on the train tracks. right? So yes, they're a part of society, but it is up to you to cipher through who's the good ones and the bad ones. That's your job. That's your job as a woman. It's always been that way since the beginning of times. There's never been a time on earth where a woman had to be the one to protect her womb. There's never been a time living on this earth where that was not the case.
Mm.
You're in control of sex, men are in control of relationships. That's just how it goes.
I want to hear what Kid had to say with that thing he was gonna read.
What's up, Kid?
So this is basically, and we're talking about old girl from earlier, and this is exactly how she sounded, right? And this is gonna
Kid,
come.
if you don't mute your
I
TV,
know I am. Hold on
Kid,
one second.
we hear the Golden Girls playing in the background. There you go. She got to get the remote. Go ahead, Kid. Go get that remote, Kid.
Yes, give me 1 second.
So, all right. So, you know, that's just, you know, one thing that I would advise you to just be mindful of, Dream, as you go out in the dating market and you start to actually vet. One, I would say, as a man, and I'm speaking from a male perspective, really get to know the market, know what you want, know the market of men you're around, and start to really cipher through that. What do you want out of this dating world? And what do you want out of life? What's up, Kid?
Okay, so if you heard what Soraya had to say earlier, what I'm gonna read, it should resonate to a lot of what she was saying. Have dinner ready. Plan ahead, even the night before, to have a delicious meal ready on time for his return. This is a way of letting him know that you've been thinking about him and are concerned about his needs. Most men are hungry when they get home, and the prospect of a good meal is part of the welcome of the warm welcome home. Prepare yourself. Take 15 minutes of rest so you'll be refreshed when he arrives. Touch up your makeup, put a ribbon in your hair, and be fresh looking. He has just been working with a lot of work-weary people. Be a little, well, this doesn't mean happy anymore, but it says be a little gay and a little more interesting for him. His boring day may need a lift, and one of your duties is to provide it. Let's see. Make the evening his. Never complain when he comes home later or goes out to dinner or other places of entertainment without you. Instead, try to understand his world of strain and pressure and his very real need to be at home and relax. Your goal, let me see. Don't complain if he's late for dinner or even if he stays out all night. Count this as a minor compared to what he might have gone through at work. Make him comfortable. Have him lean back in a comfortable chair. Lie him down in the bedroom. Have a cool, warm drink ready for him. A good wife always knows her place. Now, if you heard what she was saying earlier, am I wrong to say that these things sound like, first things first, we know who runs your household. Shout out to Kiki because it ain't chill Wall Street. Okay?
See my comment.
So again,
You see my comment.
so
What's your comment?
I said I put it in the chat. I said first I said send me this, and then I read as she was got to talking. I was like, it sounded like be stupid for a second though, because what about me?
What about you? Listen,
I'm
we
done.
I have a question. Quick.
but if you heard what she said earlier, for those that were on and now those that heard the conversation, did that not feel like a couple of pages out of her love your man doctrine, or is it just
because she was raised? She's raised in a Turkish country. Do you know that country is 99% Islamic? That is how Islamic women are. So naturally, by nature.
Actually, I feel like I just saw a documentary about Turkey where this one man fathered like 150 kids there. But you know, I'll go and make sure I got the right.
Yeah, I mean,
but what do I know?
But it doesn't mean that there's bad men everywhere. It's gonna happen. But listen, Listen, you talking about one man,
ultimately
what?
Don't you always
Listen,
say that? Isn't that's your magic thing? Oh, the majority of women are sleeping with the minority of men, and this, that, and the third. So now
that's
we
not
got
my magic thing. Those are stats.
150 kids in one
It
country
sound
the size of a
she
pea,
right though, because
and
it
now
sounds
all
like
of
the
us.
lady. It sounds like the lady has never even like. Do she sweep? Do she got to mop the floors? Like it sounds like she's like everything has just been
Listen,
given to her.
so this is the problem with America. Why I truly believe we have an issue, right? This like Matt said, that was definitely written probably in the 50s. Fine, because that is no longer an American way. But to sit down and say that there's something wrong with my husband went to work all day long. You may have to go to work too, but let's just say your man is a construction worker. He's breaking his back to do his job. Let's just put that job out there, right? And you might be at the front desk, out of office, right? He comes home. It's not saying that he's not doing everything, but he's literally breaking his back to provide for the family. The likelihood is that man will pass away before you. Men pass away before their wives all the time. And it usually is related to the stress, the lifestyle they live, the workplace environment. We pass away in the workplace far more than women. Far more than women. There's way more work-related deaths to men than women. So what is it for this man that is literally breaking his back to come home and to have a warm plate? What is it to make sure that the house is clean? What is it to make sure that this man is looking at his wife and is completely attracted to her? So there's no other such and such outside that's like, I'm keeping my body up for you. I'm keeping myself looking good for my husband. Because he might die for me. Yes,
There's
Sydney.
absolutely nothing wrong with that, but the problem is the reciprocity of it. And for whatever reason, Black men just can't see past me.
Yeah.
And they're willing to die for us. What kills me is that y'all have no problem. Y'all have no problem with committing to a barber. Y'all have no problem with committing to a sports team. Y'all have no problem with committing to any of these things, but giving a small smidge of, you know what, I'm gonna do things that I know my wife likes to do versus, oh, she's supposed to do for me, she's supposed to do for me, she's supposed to do for me, what she's supposed to do for me. It's like, so basically, and the issue I had with her is that it's about how we exist for the pleasure and the happiness and lives of men. But if that's the case, then what are men doing in reciprocity of that outside of?
I'll tell you, kid.
We can get if we're making good money, we can get somebody to protect us. I don't want
no. If you're making good money, you're not gonna get the same thing. Let's keep it real. Unless you just paying for your rose, as you mentioned a few weeks ago, right? How much the rose costs?
Look, a rose will make somebody's dusty son give you bad advice about how you supposed to be rubbing on their little eggplant ladies. But make sure you use it responsibly because you want to keep your little bits.
I just wanna say something for the folks at home watching. I do not wear ribbons in my hair. Okay, I don't do that. Let's just start there.
So this is what I'm saying though. Like y'all, it seems like it's a problem. If you pick the right man, he will be giving you all of the things that I mentioned earlier today. Why are you staying with the man? First of all, he shouldn't even, if he asks you to be his wife, he should not be your husband if he didn't show you all those signs that I was telling Dream earlier. So the fact that you guys are picking these quote unquote dusties that's not giving y'all anything, and he's not giving you any type of reciprocity in what you're giving him, why are we talking about that? That's not his. You picked the bum.
GMT, that's not the issue. The issue is that not one time. What did she say outside of protection? Maybe I missed that part because I
That's
had.
what
You
I'm
missed that part.
saying.
You missed that part. You
What
fell asleep.
else did she say? Because all
I
I
had
heard was
check
her
out
talking about
everything was what
providing,
I do for my
and they come
man.
pretty,
Yo,
pretty.
yo, Sydney, you
Man,
got my
look,
back, Sydney.
Man, how do
hold on,
I
son.
be with my man? How do I take care of my man? How do I look good for my man? How do I
You
do?
said you shouldn't even be coming. You shouldn't even be coming home seeing your woman with her hair up in a bun or in a
Oh, he
box,
never
something
sees
that's
me.
like that. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, he never sees me without. I
Like
always
I'm
make sure my man
confusion. Like
up
you
and
already have your makeup done. You
I
sitting in
can't
the
hear
house with a face.
y'all.
Sorry,
There's too
go
many
ahead.
people talking over each other.
It was me
So,
and Kid. Go ahead, Kid.
he heard us. He trying to play like he ain't hear us. He heard what we said. 'Cause I heard everything you said, girl. I heard you, and I know you heard me too. Basically, you know, everything she was saying was to the and I don't. I mean, again, I know she probably just made a post now. All of a sudden, she's got all these followers. Maybe she's going to turn it into something. I don't know if that's her doctrine. If it is, it's cool. But all I heard was what I'm doing for my man, how I make my man happy, how I look good for my man, how I take off things that my man don't like. Where's the reciprocity outside of you just saying, oh, well, as a husband, it's my job to protect? Okay. Okay.
you asking the same question Dion asked earlier, and I gave that answer. You see,
You
this is what
gave a good
incredible
answer based
edible.
on you.
This is what a good man would do. Not just me.
Most of
I
them
gave
don't.
an answer on what a good man will do. Stop saying most, because y'all are taking away from these women that are saying my husband is a good man. Don't say most. This is why these black men are like, yo, I am not choosing y'all, because y'all look at it in such a negative light. Who wants to be with a woman that's like, yo, I'm choosing the bear over you?
Oh, I just think that's dumb.
No man wants to be with that. What you saying, Jay?
I think with the bear conversation, I feel like we should give the black woman a little bit more grace, just from what we done had to deal with a lot of the times.
What y'all
the
have to
white
deal
women
with?
saying they rather be with the bear, not the black women. Didn't they say that?
Black women are saying it. No, go TikTok. But what have y'all been through, Dre?
Personally, I feel like obviously I would pick a man rather than a bear. However, a woman saying, "Oh, I would rather pick a bear than a man," I don't think you should kind of, antagonize her for it. You should be questioning, well, why is this lady saying she'll pick a bear over me?
Because she usually picks crap. So if that woman keeps picking crap, she wants the bear now.
Because
sorry, go ahead, Dream. I got something for that.
Because obviously she feels she doesn't feel safe, or she would feel like this bear, if she's weighing her options between a bear and a man, she didn't pull that out her butt. There's things she doesn't.
No one never. You know what the grace I give her? Her mother should have taught her how to pick a man.
Or her father.
The likelihood, or her father, but maybe her father wasn't there, because you wouldn't hear a woman that had a strong father figure ever say something.
Why wasn't the father there?
Because the mother probably picked the man because she had nice legs.
No,
y'all blame it on the mother.
That wants to be in their child's life.
Why can't we blame things on the mother? Why? I just said earlier, if the child do good, y'all blame it on the mother. If the child does bad, you blame it on the father. But the father wasn't there either way. Logically think about what I'm saying. Stop putting, for years, Dream, you might not know this because you're young, and I don't mean to keep like putting your age in this, but it's relevant to the topic. Why I'm saying this is because for years the black man's image has been trashed, and every woman that's older on this panel knows that. Literally, from Oprah, from The View, all of these talk shows, Ricky Lake, everything has tarnished the black male's image for years. Even though it shows that the good black men move out the hood and they choose women on their level. Most of the black women that men marry Most of the women that black men marry are black women. So in mass, we're providing for y'all. In mass, we're protecting y'all. We're doing it the most. We love y'all the most. But we had such a bad image on us for so long that it's almost like you're 21 and you're still speaking how those women spoke back in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s about us.
Well, to clear it up a little bit, I'm not, when I say you should kind of consider like what the woman is saying if she's choosing a bear, I'm not automatically saying that it's because the man did something wrong. I feel like the man should be evaluating still. You should be evaluating why she still said this answer. So if it's because, oh, the media pushed it or they did, okay, so let's talk about it. Educator, what's going on? I feel like men immediately get offended or they immediately get like, whoa, see, this is why we're not choosing y'all.
Yeah,
Because they be
but it'll be
wrong.
the same way.
They be wrong. That's why they
Why
get
are
offended.
you eating this woman?
But it'll be the same way. It'll be the same way if we're like, I choose a white woman over you. Won't black women get offended if I say that?
No, I won't.
You probably won't, but best believe the majority of black women will. If the majority of black men came and was like, guess what? I choose the cream over the chocolate. Women will be offended.
I may look different as a man, as a black man. I'll look at
I'm
you.
mad now you saying that.
I will not get
Thank
offended.
you. Thank you. So, but this is what I'm saying. So that's no different than y'all say y'all choose a bear over us. That's why men get offended, because you would rather choose a wild domestic animal that would tear you apart for doing absolutely nothing than say you would want to be with us.
No, but do you realize why they're saying that and what the significance is? And I don't think it is. I don't think that's the problem. I think that y'all are thinking about this with ego. And like y'all need to be more introspective in regards, and y'all need to stop being more ego driven in when you're thinking about this. The reason why women are picking the bear is that they already know that the likelihood of getting mauled and eaten or whatever is going to happen, versus going with a man who's going to give you and feed you all of the BS to get what they want out of you and then tear you apart in a different way that you didn't even see coming. So that's really why they're picking the bear versus picking the man. It has nothing to do with we want to pick some wild, untamed animal. With that energy, we already know what we're getting. We're walking into something and we're not being blindsided, and we're not being told stories, and we're not getting BS, and then we're not getting told by other men that we should have chosen better. But then when we choose better, because we already know what we're getting with the bear, y'all are even offended by that. Y'all get offended by everything.
It's not choosing better, choosing a bear. Anyways, what you're saying, I get it.
Better, but you're choosing the greater of the two.
You know what you're getting. That's basically what she's saying. You know what you're getting. You know what to expect.
I understand exactly what y'all are saying. You know what you're getting. It's not a surprise. I'm choosing to die over choosing the man. I get it, right? But let's keep it real. Men protect. We have to unfortunately protect y'all from other men. It's a reality of life, right? But it is what it is because you live in a world with men. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure that, Sydney, your husband, I'm sure he's a very good man, solid man, right? Mm-hmm. Would you have ever said you would choose a bear over him?
Yeah. I would have years and when we first got married, because we were figuring one another out. To Kit's point, you know what you're getting with a bear, but with a partner, you're forever growing and learning one another. So things will come out and come to the surface, whether it be, you know, if you go through a rough patch financially, whether you're talking about kids, whether you're talking about intimacy, all those pieces that are tied into a relationship that can really put it asunder. You never know how a person's going to react until you come into contact with those things. So yeah, there are situations where you do want to be like, I just want to know what I'm getting. And so, yeah, I get why a woman would say that. I totally understand that for sure.
And I like I said, to say the logical point of what y'all saying, I get as well, right? But that's also saying on the other end where a man is like, you know what, let me go to Germany and pick a Turkish woman because I know what I'm getting. right? Because I know how she was raised. I know that she has the values that I want. So I don't know what I'm gonna get with a black woman. As a matter of fact, I already probably know what I'm gonna get if I had a black woman. But what side of that coin, I don't know.
Make sure y'all look up the 4B movement. I'm gonna just put that out there.
But
we all know about your 4B movement.
What do you feel like you would get being with a black woman? Expound on that, because I'm taking it all in. That's why
I'm saying this hypothetically, right? Because I have a black woman, right? But,
right.
You know, most black men, if we're looking at it now, they're starting to, not saying most, let me not use the word most. Some black men are starting to sing a different song. They're starting to say, you know what, I'm getting my passport and I'm out. Or they're just like, I'm choosing Becky over you. Or I'm choosing Maria over you. I'm choosing, so as you're starting to see
and
the numbers of black
single
women.
mothers too.
Come on, Jess. Just in numbers, in high numbers, they're not. Don't say that. Black men are known to be the most involved fathers. The stats say that the black men are the most involved. Don't throw stain on black men.
Okay, that's a good status.
Black
but then
men
they also
are
the highest that are marrying
involved.
out and getting divorced as well, though.
You heard that stat back in that's an old stat back in 2002, Jess. Look at the numbers again.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you,
they came out with that stat, and the women started preaching that again.
First, I'm never gonna get offended by somebody saying that they would prefer something else. Here's the reason why: you can't compete where you don't compare. And if you want one of them, you couldn't do nothing with one of me. So if that's what you want, I bid you adieu.
Hold on, what is that? What'd you say? Repeat that. If I want one of them, I can't do. Hold on, kids. Slow down, kid. Slow down, kid. Take your foot off the gas a little bit. What did you say?
How was it that everybody else heard me but you, Mr. I'm just saying. I feel like that cap belongs to me. Can I get my blue cap? When do I get my blue cap? Can I get my blue cap?
Amazon. What you were saying now?
I said, first things first, I don't understand why any woman, black, white, pink with polka dots, would feel a way about any man of their race saying that they want something else. Because I personally feel like you can't compete where you don't compare. Black women are excellent. We are awesome everywhere. First things first. And then and even more so, if that's what you want, you couldn't, if you want to go over to something docile, that's quiet, that basically just lives for the purpose of your breathing, you wasn't going to be able to do nothing with us in the first place. So if anything, you basically saved a woman some years of having to go to therapy after encountering.
But guess what though? So you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right, kid. So then I'll give you a clap because you asked, but what she's saying makes absolutely no sense
to you. It's amazing how all the beautiful brown women
of course the women, because you guys live primarily in the echo chamber, so you guys understand each other. But when Jess.
Please.
Hello. I just want to put it down because I know y'all having y'all conversation about all this stuff. I just want to say the whole pitting other races against others, other cultures against, are just stupid. That's what I'm saying. I don't care. Y'all can continue with it. This is why I stay quiet because
I totally
it
agree.
goes nowhere.
I agree with you, Jess. Because you know why it's a dumb argument, Jess? And let me tell you why it's a dumb argument.
Why? What's a dumb argument?
The race thing, us go. Because at most, we marry out the most. But I mention this in a way of choosing the bear. So for women to say that they choose the bear, and you can look, Jess got her little iPad, look it up, Jess. Black men marry black women the most. So that is what it is. Ain't no other race of men.
Which stems to our loyalty as well, though. But y'all don't want to look at it from that way.
Jess, stop.
Okay.
The reason why you can say that is because every stat shows that black women are not desired highly by other men, and I'm not making that up. Look at the stats. If a man wants y'all,
marrying out as well, though.
Because men have to ask you to marry them.
But y'all don't want to look at it from that side. Y'all only want to look at it of how it will make the man look better. That's why I said this
black
whole
women,
gender stuff is stupid.
Jess, because what you're saying right now, I'm throwing the stat in there, and then you're sitting there combating it with whatever you're saying to say, you know, I don't want to talk about it, but at the same time, I'm going to throw black men under the bus.
Who did?
Why are y'all doing
I don't
that?
throw
You
black
did.
men under the bus.
You did.
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
but y'all leave single mothers. Y'all do. Yes, you are.
I was saying that in rebuttal to what
Cool.
you say, because y'all always trying to do the whole, when it's, stats go both ways on either side. We have good ones, we have bad ones for each gender.
Exactly
and
what
I
I
think
just-
it's just stupid.
But exactly what I just said, but you still are throwing black men under the bus. So
Absolutely
when we talk
not.
about
Absolutely not.
how you gonna say you not when you just did? I could put it back on a replay.
I stated a fact. I stated a fact, and
how
that's
is that
all
a
it
fact?
was.
Show the facts. Show the facts, Jess.
It's
We
a
have a
lot
$5.
of black mothers that don't have a black father. That's why we're in this situation now, because a lot of black boys are not raised with fathers.
That's partially it. That's partially it.
Okay.
But when we that's partially it. A lot of these boys as well are not raised with the fathers too. So it's very difficult, but we can't keep using that argument to say, why aren't we as a community as a whole, that we know better now, not choosing better between men and women selectively?
Again, it shouldn't even.
But that's not the argument that I usually hear. I usually hear that is one gender that's being blamed solely when it's a collective issue that we need to get to the bottom of.
Right.
Go ahead, Cindy.
If we're talking about, because the phrase was thrown out there, throwing black men under the bus, if that's what the narrative is, I would think from my perspective, that means that black men are throwing black women in the trunk. And what I mean by that is we got to reclaim our identity and have a voice. We're hearing y'all. Let's just go down the totem pole. It's white men first, white women second, black men third, black women fourth. And so at the end of the day, we're hearing y'all.
We're all at the bottom. I agree.
Yeah, y'all are.
I agree.
So
No. We are at the very bottom.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. We are right.
And we are
so
literally
the point
against the trunk saying, hey, let us out. You know, we have a voice as well. We have an identity as well in juxtaposition to you guys. We don't mind doing the things that make you happy and then also make us happy as well. But you guys got to see us for who we are and stop telling us who we are. And that's the problem.
I think it's more so telling us what we not.
And tell us what we not. Come on now.
That's the biggest part.
But the whole point of what I'm trying to say, my purpose, and I feel like it's hard to get it out sometimes with y'all, but my purpose is to say that, and I said it, we love y'all. I said that twice already. We marry y'all the most.
Faults and who's better than us. That's like a parent saying, you got a B. But your friend down the block got an A.
What?
That's what it is. How does that help your child get that A?
You're not listening. You're not.
I can't hear. It's people talking.
Yes, you're not. No, because sometimes just be doing that. But just
when I get spicy, I'm spicy. Even though I'm a black girl today, I'm spicy.
I don't know, man.
I'm not an angry black woman.
You Afro-Latina. Technically, you are Afro-Latina, okay? So you can't be spicy.
Let me listen to me, because y'all have this way where all of y'all start talking, but y'all are not really hearing me. What I'm trying to
hear you, but we
Jessica,
hear it all the time.
You see, there you go, Jessica.
I hear you, but we hear it all the time.
No,
I just repeated what you said.
Forget what you hear all the time.
You.
Just listen.
We hear it all the time.
Forget what you hear all the time. Listen to what I'm saying now. Do that. So, what I'm trying to tell you now is that Black men in general, and I'm not talking about feelings, I'm not talking about what podcast people say, I'm not talking about what people on the internet say. What I'm trying to show you is that Black men in general, the numbers show that we marry y'all and we love y'all the absolute most. To say, and then to you turn around and said, oh, but then y'all turn around and leave, or y'all turn around and whatever. Listen, no, the point is that we are trying with y'all for whatever it is. But when you talk about you choose something over us, it's literally putting a slap in our face. So I put that comparison to say, listen, if you're going to choose that, that's similar to saying a Black man dating out. and how women
understood
can be
that.
offended by it. It's an offensive statement, no matter how you try to break it down.
Nah, I
That's
understood
all
it
I'm
when you
trying to
said it.
say.
I
But
wouldn't
it
choose a
doesn't
beer,
mean that
babe. I
I know
wouldn't
you
choose a
won't.
beer.
But and I know you won't. But my whole thing is like that's the problem. We do too much talking and not truly trying to understand when an actual man is trying to say, we love y'all. We love y'all. We want to be with y'all. I'm not talking about what you hear. Let's talk about what's happening. Let's talk about the actual numbers, Jess.
We are being unalived the highest by our men.
Oh my God. Okay, Cynthia G. Every race
Ooh,
of women
it's
could say the
11:06.
same
First of
exact.
all, don't do that because I
No, because
far
you
from
just brought it
far
up. You
from.
went far left. You
I'm
Oh
went
just
far
my.
left.
saying.
You went far left, Jess. You went far left with that
Well,
one.
I
There was
mean,
no
these are
reason for
things
you to
that
say that.
we are being
No, Jess,
gaslit because those are important stats too. But y'all always want to
No, you're not being
quote the
gaslit.
ones that
Black.
get at us.
Oh my God, Jess,
Oh
you
my
are doing
God.
yourself a disservice in this conversation. I'm trying to
Oh,
tell
well.
you that every race of women can say the same thing. Every race of women can say the same thing. How many
There
men
are
try to
numbers.
unalive you?
I don't
This
think
is
they
what I'm
can
saying.
say the same
Why was
thing.
that? Why was
They
that?
can
Well,
say that
yes,
they're
every
getting.
race of women can say the
But
same
wait,
thing.
wait, GMT. But by mathematical awareness, they can't. They could say that they're getting unalive, but they can't say that they're getting unalive the most because that's why you have like one number and
Kid,
then you
don't
have
come at me
like
with your feelings.
another
Come at
number.
me with stats. Come at me with
I
stats. Don't come
am.
at me with your feelings. No,
Well,
what's the stats?
I have feelings. I don't even buy them things. Like, what are you talking about?
So buy some stats. So listen.
No, what I'm saying is that wait, Jess literally
You're
just
getting me
said,
hot tonight, boy.
you look,
Don't
you
get
about
high,
to,
babe.
first things first, you can't afford to get hot. You about to turn purple. Okay, Barney. I'm gonna relax.
Hey,
Chill out, GMT.
Hey,
we
You're
can
doing
tell
a
we
hey,
lot.
ain't
Jess. Hey, kid. Hey.
I know you got to
All
give me
right.
your husband, Tim. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, D. I'm sorry. But Jess literally just said that we are getting alive the most. Wait.
She brought it. I don't like that. I don't even want to have that conversation, Jack. I mean, kid.
Oh,
Because
Why?
that was
How you gonna
completely
ask me? How you
because
gonna ask
it's
me a question
irrelevant.
and then when I try to
No,
Can
answer,
you
I
change the
didn't
screen,
ask you
please?
that question.
black
I didn't
women
ask you.
is
I didn't
irrelevant.
ask you. I didn't ask you that question. It's not saying it's irrelevant. What it is it's irrelevant to the topic. She brought the. I say we want y'all, we marry y'all. Oh, y'all, but y'all out here red rumming us. What? So then just go find your white man. He won't unalive you. But
I
then
don't
watch
want
how many
one.
stats where a white man do unalive
I
black
don't
women.
want one.
So this is what I'm saying. But then you don't sound like you want any man. So to sit down and say that's what we do, like we just out here unaliving y'all. Good luck. Good luck finding a man, even putting that on a platform like this. That's crazy. That's crazy.
But she.
No one was even talking about that. We were talking about stats about marriage and dating, and but y'all out here murdering us. What?
Well, you.
I'm just
I think
saying.
it was a response
Nah,
to
you're not just saying it. It wasn't a
I
response. She
am.
said that because she's trying to prove,
I
she's trying
am
to
just
win the
saying,
argument. So the
actually.
need to be right was very strong. That's all that was. I'm
No,
tired.
it was
Yes,
a need to add to what was
tired.
being said at the moment.
Okay.
The need
You
to be right is the
we
one
know
who
we
is
talked about
kind
your
of
blood pressure
peacocking
before. You
right
need to
now.
calm all the way down, okay?
I'm gonna send you some Snickers next time. 'Cause you watch you when you're angry, honey. You
I
not
ain't never seen him like this.
I know. Look, I'm going to send you some of my. I'm gonna send you a care package for next show, so that way you can do a little snacky snack before you come back. It's okay. Well,
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do those snacky snacks. You got to keep it just a job,
jobby
okay?
his jobby job.
You need that.
I just again, I will say this. I will
I'll
say
partake
that
though.
when it comes to dating, I feel like and making sure like because we have veered way from the topic of being feminine versus feminist, right? I feel like if men would give us the opportunity to be feminine by showing us that we could do that with them. You have to think when you've picked and have been picked, because you got to think at one, it's either sometimes you're picking and sometimes they're picking you, and sometimes it's the energy that you're giving off where it's a cycle, right? When you keep getting done in ways that, you know, break you in other ways, and you gotta keep rebuilding yourself and keep rebuilding yourself just to have certain things and situations break down. Wanting to be that softer woman and that person, it fades because you've been taught through action that doing that hasn't been a service to you. As a matter of fact, doing those things has been a disservice to you. Not saying that they can't be a service, and not saying that if done right, it can't be a wonderful thing. What I'm saying is that after so many trial and errors, you are innately taught that this is what's going to happen if you continue to do this thing. And if we can get to a point where, like Jess was saying earlier, not doing the whole pitting each other against each other, whatever, but really saying, okay,
I don't know how she just did that.
Wow.
Just stated
No, that's
in
what she said that in the
response to
beginning.
certain
She
things
did.
specifically. So
No,
don't do
because
that.
you did that. You did that.
No,
I
I
didn't do
did
that.
not.
Watch the replay. Watch the replay, Jess.
First of all,
you did
I'm
that.
not even like down a promoter. Well, not down for the swirl. Okay, so if whoever is,
Where are we
that's their
talking about
prerogative.
But you
I'm
don't have
just
to be down
talking
with the
about.
swirl to
I
actually
just
say.
stated something in response to what was said, and some things that
No,
we also
that was
do
not
discuss.
what was said.
Okay.
We wasn't talking about that. No one talked about red rum. We literally was talking about being married and men choosing you and black men choosing you the most. The moment I said that, oh, but y'all unalive us the most. What?
It's a stat
like
that needs to be discussed.
Irrelevant.
If that's something that
Yeah,
happens,
let's discuss that when we
as
talk
much
about
as you
that.
want to say you love us the
Yes,
most,
let's talk
if
about
that's
that when we
also
talk
what's
about
happening,
That's what I was
we need to
thinking.
look into it.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm
every
thinking,
race
Shana.
of man unalives their women. So all I'm saying is this.
And she wasn't
Hold
saying
on.
that they don't unalive them. She was saying that you all, as far as a race, do it the most. I think she was saying that in reference to, you know, us.
Go look at the actual. Hold up. I know Media Man
You're
just
not
sent me
gonna
the
win this
actual number.
argument.
Because y'all don't have facts, but Media Man just sent me some facts. So I'm going. All I'm arguing with is y'all feelings. So I'm gonna just. I can't win that. But I'm gonna actually look at the facts to this. Media
and
Man.
that's fine. That's
It's
the
on
whole
the screen.
point.
You gonna
If
put it on the
that's what's
screen?
circulating,
No, what I'm gonna do.
then if you could put it straight, then fine.
Media Man, you don't have to come on to the actual panel if you don't want to show your face. But if you don't mind, I just dropped the link. Just come real quick and hit us with those numbers, so that way we can actually. Yeah, we're in a little OT.
Like I was saying, because I was
The more
rooting.
you know.
It's okay. You know, it's fine. We family here. You know, sometimes
He needs some help. He needs some help tonight.
But
I need backup.
But I
need
will
backup.
Again. I will say this, and I said this earlier, and I believe this: if we as Black women could be given the opportunity through proper love and cultivation to show that we could be feminine and do all of those things without having to wonder if the shoe is going to drop, without having to feel like we're not going to be treated in the way that we need to be treated and made to be felt in order to do those things, we would absolutely do it unequivocally without a doubt. Now, you do have some of the new TD boppers that, again, are being influenced based on, you know, the culture as far as the young culture and what's out now. Now, it's our responsibility to reach to them and let them know, like, hey, this is all fun and good and it looks entertaining, but you know, after a while this fades, and now you have to really think about what life looks like. And there's nothing wrong with getting that done early, and that's an testament to you, Dream, because I know you're young on here as well. So again, it has the glitz and glamour to it, but actually making sure that you're looking to see, okay, well, if this is what again, choosing your path and actually attacking that and going towards it. So again, Black women want to be soft. Black women need to be treated with the temperament that it's okay for us to be soft. Like a lot of the times we don't feel okay being able to do it because of the treatment that we've gotten, whether it be we chose wrong or we allowed us to get chosen by the wrong person, regardless of which side that falls on. But I promise you, if you go out here outside of Black women being taught that they have to be strong or whatever, they will absolutely tell you, yeah, it's a lesson I've learned. It's not necessarily a lesson I want to subscribe to, because I don't always want to be strong. There's no strong Indian woman. You never hear, oh, she's a strong Indian woman. Look at how she mops that floor. You don't never hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Never.
Black men don't put strong on you. You know that, right? So I think women need to stop teaching other women that, because we never tell y'all to be strong and independent. You don't say it.
You didn't say it, but your actions did. But what do I know? I'm just sitting here being
how our actions did.
Paying attention,
Because what you was gonna say, Dream?
You all stopped stepping up to do the thing. Like, what do you like? We couldn't let things.
What are you talking about? We're married. We're married at a higher rate. We love y'all. I keep saying the same thing. We are married. So if to sit down and say that we're not stepping up, you're talking about men of the past. Men today. Let's talk about the men today. Are we not doing better than our fathers?
I was talking about the women today too, because a lot of them do not want to be like, again, wanting equality as far as pay and being able to get equal rights, things like that. That's what the real feminist movement was around: being feminine and being able to be soft and energy, and being able to be that mate to her husband, to her spouse, whatever the case is absolutely and unequivocally what a Black woman wants. It's what most women want around the board, and the fact that we don't get a chance to do it enough based on how.
Why don't you just be that? Right?
Because I get it. Because you're doing the wrong person. No, I'm not going to
just do it. Just be it. Don't be with the wrong person. The moment the wrong person enters your life, get rid of him, and then be with the right person, or be by yourself. But either way, you should be in a feminine state because you're a woman. I don't have room to be feminine. That's true. Being a man, I have to be masculine all the time. I have to go to work. I have to show leadership, guidance. I don't have room to be feminine because life is not dishing me the right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What do I know? I just have tits and carry them around all day. Just being here. It's cool. Like, I'll let somebody else have.
You need to put those glasses you had on Sunday back on. You was more, I like those glasses you had.
I'm gonna turn back in the kitty potter, for Sunday. Make sure I can see everybody, because I have to be able to see the bullshit differently. On Sunday, the bullshit is bigger, so I have to be able to see it differently. That's why I have my glasses
on. Dream, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, I just feel like you learned something tonight, Dream.
That Black men, please just have a little more grace. Because we had Black men had to be strong for a reason, because a lot of our men got incarcerated and locked up by white America and left the mothers in single households, and that's where the strong Black independent mindset came from. The woman had to survive. So if anything, we need to be kind of applauding the Black woman for holding it down. Now it's the man's turn. Y'all need to flip the script. Okay, y'all want to start marrying us? Okay, let's do that. But I honestly don't think anyone should get upset for the woman, for what we've been going through. It's deeper than just, it's not a flat surface. It's a lot that happened years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, where it's kind of got us set up like this. I just want to say.
I feel you. We have Media Man on the. Salute to you, my guy. Salute.
So, man, I greatly appreciate you having me come out. I was prepping for tomorrow's show, the nutrient show, and then the investment show. So I was in the office. That's why I've been active. So I'm glad I got a chance to come
appreciate it, man.
See everybody. I see some new faces. How you doing, ladies?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Hi, Jess. No. I mean, I know these conversations can be very heated, and I just felt it was necessary to specifically address that, Black men delete Black women, at the highest rate. And I don't think anybody has put things into perspective in regards to who deletes the most people in the Black community. And the reason why we don't discuss this is because the number that I'm about to discuss with you guys is so outlandish that you would probably think I was telling a lie if I told you. And that's why it's so tough to discuss this, because I rarely talk about this unless the deletion of Black women with, Black men being the offenders is brought up, and why it's a flawed argument. So basically, what I'm going to share, and I'm going to be very careful on YouTube because I know how the algorithm works, right? So let's put this into perspective. There was recently a narrative that rap music was causing all of the, Black men to delete all these other Black men and Black women and so on and so forth. So basically what I did, I extrapolated the numbers out to prove how many deletions and homicides, or whatever you want to call it, Black men have, I guess, let's say they did over the past 20 years or so, right? So let's say that 9,991 Black men committed 9,991 homicides on Black men, which means 1-to-1 every year, right? And that's for the past 50 years. Okay. So just stay with me. I'm gonna try and walk this down as best possible. So, and people were saying that, let's say that was because of rap music. So by ethnic background, on average, according to gun violence statistics, 991,000 or 9,991 Black Americans die because of homicides, right? Mm-hmm. And again, go back to what I said, 1-to-1. Black man offender, Black man victim. So they're both, one Black man dead, one Black man in jail. Okay. So, and then I also put on second thought, because there was another number out there that said that 10,470 Black men committed 10,470 homicides on Black men, 1-to-1 every year for the past 50 years because of rap music. And that was in 2022. Okay. And that was from Statista. Scratch that. Let's say that 12,400 Black men committed 12,400 homicides on Black men, 1-to-1 every year for the past 50 years because of rap music. And this is from the Giffords Law Center, the Trends in Gun Violence. And it touches every community and every racial group in the United States, but none more so than Black people and Black communities. So that's what they reported. And then they reported another number that said 15,000 such deletions in 2021 alone was the record, right? So let's just say 15,548 Black men committed 15,548 homicides, 1-to-1 every year for the past 50 years. Y'all get where I'm going here? Okay, cool. Okay, I know it's kind of mundane. I apologize, but I have to walk this down every time this argument is brought up. So let's say 15,548 Black men on Black men deletions over the past 50 years. That equals 777,400 Black men on Black men homicides over the past 50 years. 777,000 over the past 50 years. So let's just use that as the approximate number. Now, let's compare Black women's child deletions over the past 50 years because of female rap music. Let's just say that 20 million Black babies have been deleted by Black women since the Roe versus Wade Act in 1973. Y'all get that? 20 million. Now, over the past 50 years, that difference between that 777,000 Black men on Black men deletions approximately would be 19.2 million Black women deletions in the past 50 years. So when I say that, who's responsible for Black people not being the highest minority group in the United States?
All of us. There's no finger pointing.
Okay. Does that put anything in the perspective for everybody?
100%.
100%.
100%.
Word.
100%.
Dream couldn't have said it better.
So that's why I said I don't like bringing this up, because I never hear Black women discuss the fact that white men overwhelmingly lead in the sexual deviancy crimes in the United States, but it's never brought up. And also, when we go to Black women being deleted by Black men, you know who has the highest female rate of deleting their own race of men? Black women. So every stat that you say Black men lead in, Black women mirror the same stats in regards to the female department. That includes prisons, jails, federal prisons, whatever it is. So when we have these arguments, it's like we're biting each other in the back because we both are at the bottom. So when we look at Black men deleting Black women every year, the number is and one is too many. Let me just say that one is too many. But the number compared to all the Black men in the United States, the whole 22 million Black men in the United States, it's nominal. It's less than a percentage point. And like I said, and those, I'm not even talking about repeat offenders, because most of them are repeat offenders. You guys can look this up on the FBI statistics. They report them every year. So what we're saying, let's say it was 10,000 Black men that, reportedly deleted Black women. 40% of those are repeat offenders, because they always link that to intimate partner violence, because those are the people that are close to those Black women who they choose to sleep with. That's a problem. So that's why I don't like talking about this topic. And I hate to hear Black women bring it up, because we're not deleting y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You get, that's like kind of the go-to. And the reason where I get these talking points is from listening to Black women who hate Black men. And also, I get them from white supremacist Reddit threads. Black women and white supremacist Reddit threads and Twitter threads, the talking points mirror. That's a problem.
So can I clarify? Okay. So, and I actually absolutely appreciate you coming up with, and stating all the facts and everything like that. And this is why I want to clarify, because first of all, this is not even the whole back and forth. First of all, I told you, the back and forth, I said that as more so like, is what's out there. Yes. And you also clarified what it is, but I said that as in to say, like, this is how I view it. For every for every stat that's out there, there's also a reaction, and it's also a back and forth. So my main stance, and you can hear this every time, even on my platform and everything like that. My main stance is that when we do the whole blame casting, because guess what? Men live for the stats only, and it's only certain stats that are brought up. So this is why I kind of like threw that out, and it was more so playing, I don't like using this phrase too much, devil advocate kind of thing, as in to say, we need to start looking at actual solutions and all that, rather than casting blames and throwing stats to make someone, and get to the bottom of stuff. Because even when you stated that stat about the deletion of women, and I didn't know that number. And that is, like eye-opening for me with that one, and it tugs at my heart, and it makes me think even more about that. But it's different when you have to be on defense, because it's thrown at you half the time, let's be honest, as to kind of be like, see, y'all are at the fault, it's y'all. I'm not saying you, Mingo, or whatever, I'm just saying, it's just, that's usually what I see a lot.
Yeah, but then that's disingenuous to the conversation. I get it. But that's disingenuous to the panel, because that's not what we were talking about. I wasn't doing it. But
my whole point is that if we are saying certain things and seeing certain things, I feel like when you say certain things, it's kind of like a gaslighting method, where it's like, okay, this is what we're seeing, and we're telling you we're seeing it. And if it's incorrect, okay, fine. We have to discuss that, rather than having to defend each other and all that stuff, and discuss and get into the bottom of things. rather
was
than
trying to
actually
get, but you see, Jess, that's the problem.
overlooking it.
The problem was just that, though, Jess. I was trying to come up with a solution. You kept undermining me with this stats of what black men don't do or what black men do. So, of what to your knowledge. So I was trying to get to a solution. You know I'm solution based. You know I'm big on this panel of trying to figure out how could black men and black women get married. So for you to come at it like, oh, but, that's disingenuous to everything that I was saying, more than what you hear on the internet from other people. And you on my panel every week.
Well, there are a lot of having to defend with certain people on the panel half the time too, though, as a woman.
But they're not here. So defend them, make your talking points when they bring it up.
Yeah,
Well, we're
if you
able
don't
to
mind.
talk a little bit more here.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh, no. So what and like I stated before, I think instead of using or saying that we're trying to blame, I think what I do on my platform is I'm trying to look at who needs the most help first. So if the narrative is that in the black community, let's say the black community as a whole believes that black men don't want to marry black women. So when we look at the statistics, like GMT was saying, that's not true, right? So you have to kind of level set the conversation so we can have these conversations in good faith and then move forward to start talking about solutions. Because us as black men, we have a lot to correct, because over the past 5 or 6 decades, there's been a lot of false narratives about black men that's being pushed in the black community. And nobody ever took the chance to sit down and look at the statistics to see what things are actually are, right? So that's why you get these politicians every time it's election time come around. The first thing that they mention is black fatherlessness being the biggest issue in the black community. And they do that because they know that the black community is brainwashed to believe that that's true, but it's not. And that's why we have to have these conversations on who needs the most help first, so we can start there. Now, I know black men, we have some issues that we got to clear up. I understand that. But the stereotypes they're not those. Now, black women out, having more education, having more degrees, that is absolutely true. Black women do have more degrees than black men, right? Black men die at an earlier age than black women, and it's primarily due to heart disease. Same thing with black women, but black men lead. So these things where I point out to black men where we need to improve, I always do those types of shows. So I want to make sure that people understand that this is just not me blaming our black women, because like GMT said, we love black women. You know what I'm saying? We marry y'all the most. And that's why when we hear narratives such as, we're that's because we're loyal. That's why we don't date out. But the fact of the matter is that that's that race's responsibility to try and marry black women. So if the narrative of black women feel that black men are subpar, which is what they've been led to believe over the past 6 decades, then I completely understand why black women don't respect black men. Who would respect a group of men that they think they out earn? They're more educated. They marry out the most. They do better with black or white men. All these narratives have been pushed on black women. So when black women have heard this over the past decades, then they have every right to believe that. And that's where GMT comes in. That's where I come in to try and level set the conversation. Like, hey, black women, what you thought about black men weren't true. We're out here. We're not gay. We're not all in prison. You know what I'm saying? And we just start to level set the conversation. And we start to say, about 80% of married black men marry black women. And then what you see on the NFL draft is not the norm. You know what I'm saying? It's the minority. What you see on the Shade Room where they see an entertainer, dating a white woman. Floyd Mayweather just went viral because he's dating some foreign woman. And now that's the picture in the comments. Everybody is saying that, oh, black men just don't like black women. And that's what we get painted with. When, what I'm saying, GMT got a black wife. I got a Jamaican black wife. You know what I'm saying? I just got done eating chicken curry. So I mean, we love black women. So it's not that. We're just trying to find solutions. That's all. But I get it. It's heated. Just I understand. But I wouldn't throw things out just because. And I know it's tough, but sometimes we do that because emotions run high, and I get it. So
thrown out because that is out there, so people like you actually can clarify. That's awesome. So because it's thrown out because there are certain stats that do float around that needs to be clarified, and I really love that. I love that we can come with the facts, and I wish that people who are coming from that direction, like how you are right now and everything, and even how GMT come and everything like that, I wish that they were louder on the mics than half of the other ones that's out there, because it's kind of having to defend every time we do come to talk about issues rather than actually talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I definitely get it, because this is all like an avalanche coming on Black women because Black men were silent for so long, and that's our fault.
Right, but
you know what I'm
tit
saying?
for tat don't go either. There's a tit for tat, like, okay, it's been so long, so here's your turn now again, back at you. That doesn't help.
And I get it, but you have to give those Black men some grace because of the fact that when you start hearing this new information, you start to question the Black community's motives. You're like, man, why y'all didn't tell us this? Why we just now figuring this stuff out, to where when YouTube comes around and now you got an influx of Black men trying to level set the conversation, but a lot of them may not be as educated to have the conversation in a respectful manner. And I get that, but you have to, chew the meat, spit out the bones, as they say, right? So you got to find where content creators are trying to have the discussion as best possible. And I think this is one of them, to have a whole female panel, a Black woman's panel to discuss this. This is the type of stuff that we need, so we can sit there when emotions run high. I get it. But at the end of the day, I truly believe that GMT is trying to be solution-based. I wouldn't be here. People know my feelings about panel shows. You know what I'm saying? I saw the brother. I was like, man, I love to see it. I like the way he run the panel. So that's why I'm here, because I felt that I could help in any way possible, and I reach out here and there. People contact me from, behind the scenes. But yeah, man, I think for the most part, I think we're coming at these conversations in good faith. I'm not trying to blame Black women. My daughter watches my show. You know what I'm saying? So if I was going off on Black women, I got to come back to that before she go back to college, So it would be tough on me. And I get pushed back for that, for not being as tough as they want me to be. And because they say Media Man has a daughter, that's why he don't go hard on these 304s and all this. I don't do all that stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I have to, and that's not even my character to even be like that. So yeah, I think, for the most part, I would say if I had to put a percentage on it, 60% of the Black men that create content are trying to do it in good faith. And 40%, I mean, you probably have to get rid of, because it's going to be, detrimental to your mental health and well-being. That's how I see it. So.
Right.
And
well, definitely
the stats. I do want to say I do apologize for throwing that out just like that. But what I do like is what the conversation that came out of it, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I greatly appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all cook. I'm gonna finish this nutrient show or whatever. I'm teaching class tomorrow, so
I'm gonna be watching. You throwing it on? You're gonna be on live. I'm on it, man.
Yeah, we going in depth. So thank y'all. I appreciate it. God bless everybody.
Thank you.
Much respect, man. Thank you so much, man. So Jess, I love you. I understand we family, so we're gonna have disputes sometimes, and it's all good because it's in good faith. And no matter how this conversation obviously was needed, right?
Yeah.
So I
could defend. As if we ever hear that again, we could defend it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not right. Here's right.
Right. That's real. So, but I'm going to end it here. I just wanted to thank everyone for joining the panel tonight. Dream, thank you so much. Can you do me a favor? Put your information in the private chat. You know how to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, put your information in the private chat so we can stay in touch with you and find you and get you on some more shows where I do plan on having. No, thank you for coming. I do plan on having, different levels of understanding from different people on here continuously. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everyone in the chat. And Kit, Matt wanted me to read this. He said, make sure you see it before the night is over. So he says, y'all know, what did he say? Y'all know y'all like a slightly toxic, strong back. Whatever that means. Stop being difficult, sheesh. Dark-skinned Kit, I see you. Crazy, but I know I like that shade on you. He wanted you to see that. He wanted me to make sure you
Matt,
saw it.
you know what, Matt? I'm gonna adjust my ring light because I'm this shade every day. So like I'm gonna make sure that my melanin pops more true through the camera. I think my 4K is doing this in different lighting, but you know, I will make sure that I am this level of brown to suit
you look like light-skinned Kid. What's up, Jess?
Can we do Pelham Moore Jr.'s
Where's that one at? Which one?
Shout
That
out to my
Afro-Latin?
Panamanians out there. Sorry. Shout out to my Panamanians out there.
Afro-Latino power.
Afro-Latino power.
Mi gente.
That's what's up,
Familia.
So this was a good panel. Thank you so much. And to all the ladies, I know it got late, so the other ladies did drop. But I just wanted to tell you, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for joining the panel. Thank you, Media Man, for the knowledge. Queen Lala with the super chat as well. I greatly appreciate these conversations. We're going to keep this going. Stay tuned Friday for Grown Men Trash Talking, and then we have our open conversation on Sunday, 4 p.m. So make sure y'all stay with the gang, with the squad.
Well, make sure you hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing.
Yeah, you won't miss an episode. And also make sure you hit the subscribe button. Some of y'all watching from the clouds and y'all not subscribing. Part of the game is that. What part of the game is that? Make sure you subscribe to Just Justified. Go to her Mind to Mind with Just Justified, and follow my wife Dion MUA on Instagram. Follow Dream on that's your Instagram handle as well.
Yes,
and make
sir.
sure you follow everything Kit has edible going on. All her information. www.theedibleincredibles. Make sure y'all go get y'all edibles, and we are out.
If it gets too hot, roll the window down. If I fuck things up, just tell me now. We're living in a blinded town, and we're running out of time. Feel like a drug when I'm talking to you. Slow trip, trying to play it cool. Nothing to do, let's drive to the ocean. Get high, lay on the beach. White water running down my feet. Make love and repeat. I don't ever want to stay all night to see the sunrise. 'Cause it's way too soon to be calling, baby. But it feels so right against the moonlight. Deep sea diving head first, don't save me. Is there something I can say? Make you wanna stay with me. Is there something I can say to make you wanna stay with me? To make you wanna stay with me. Is there something